getting you ready for game time. Join me, Sal from Behind New York Basketball, as I announce play-by-play. Make sure to smash the like and subscribe, because now we're about to go live. Entering the pregame, we now present Sal from Behind New York Basketball. And what's good, everybody? Glad to have you guys back on board, being a part here on the stream tonight for what should be a great matchup going down, part of a rivalry game here. It's the Sunflower Showdown. Number 2 ranked Kansas Jayhawks taking on the number 13 ranked Kansas State Wildcats in this matchup. K-State, one of the most shocking, surprising teams of all this season for college basketball. New head coach, first season under the new head coach Jerome Tang, and former assistant at Baylor. He has taken this team to whole new heights and levels right now for K-State this season. Wildcats record of 15-2 hosting Kansas. Kansas record of 16-1. Kansas, the lone undefeated team in the Big 12 at 5-0 in the conference, and sole position of first place. K-State right behind, tied for second with Texas and Iowa State at 4-1 in the Big 12. 9-0 in their home floor for K-State. Kansas, perfect 3-0 on the road. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe, and oh yeah, this should be a great one tonight going down. Yeah, that was unfortunate there. Tom Brady just couldn't come through yesterday. Bucks really struggled, and Dallas, props to them, especially with a pass rush, getting Tom Brady all out of sorts yesterday, as there was just no rhythm and offensive flow whatsoever for Tampa. That was just a bad game played by Tampa, and Tom just not buying into Tampa Bay. It looks like I don't think he's going to end there. I don't think he's going to end on a low note getting destroyed by the Cowboys. I think he's going to go someplace else in the offseason. Most likely Las Vegas, I think. He'll reunite with Josh McDaniels and the Raiders. Quincy Bell, welcome back in the stream here, man. Hope all is going well. Glad to have you back on. This should be a great game here. Steve, welcome back in. Daniel Laszlo, welcome on board once again. Going to tip off in a couple minutes from now. Great matchup in store here. Rivalry game. Kansas State finally of relevance once again this season. Kansas has won the previous 7 straight matchups against K-State. This game, though, on the home floor of K-State, where Kansas dominant, 125 for victories, 57 for losses all time. Both of these teams 3-1 against ranked opponents this season. Kansas with only 1 loss. It was against Tennessee. And then K-State this season has 2 losses so far. One of them, the last game that they lost, coming off a road loss at TCU on Saturday, 82-68. The other loss was their second road game. It was at Butler, 76-64. Sports Dude, welcome in. I think this is going to be a really close game tonight here. We're going to figure out if K-State is for real in this matchup. Kansas has just won so many close games. I think either way, this game goes right down to the wire. I've been covering a lot of Kansas nail-biters lately. My prediction for this one, I get Kansas by 4 in this matchup, 78-74. I was looking at the schedule, and Kansas has played the 3rd toughest schedule in the nation to this point, behind Creighton and Nebraska. And all these Big 12 teams is going to get tougher and tougher and tougher right down the road for the final 2 months or so, up until Selection Sunday. Vegas, welcome back in. Make sure to vote in that poll who you guys got in this matchup tonight. I saw K-State was without. They don't have one of their key players listed in the starting 5. David Gasson, transfer from Virginia Tech. He usually starts for K-State, but he's being replaced in this game by number 23, looks like, gets the starts. His nickname is Bebe, last name Iola. Big man for K-State, going to get the start. Starting 5 looks like this for this matchup. Visiting Kansas Jayhawks, Dwan Harris, Grady Dick, Jalen Wilson, and Kevin McCullough, and KJ Adams, the starting 5, going up against Kansas State starters. Marquise Noel, he has had a phenomenal season. Last couple weeks, he has been on a tear for the point guard, 2nd in the nation in assists per game. Number 5, Cameron Carter gets the start with Keontae Johnson, top 5 scorer in the Big 12. What a story for him. The transfer from Florida. He was the player that collapsed on the court, but man, he has made a miraculous comeback here. It's the top scorer for Kansas State this year, averaging above 17 points per game. And then Naquan Tomlin gets the start with Bebe Iola in the front court for K-State. Yep, I remember that a couple of years ago. Silvio De Souza at the end of the game in a blowout. Alex, welcome to the stream, man. 20 plus in the chat right now. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. I don't think I've covered K-State in a long time here, so they're back to relevancy, which is great. Able to get them on a stream for this matchup, and this is a monster game at Kansas State. Largest game that has happened at K-State in a long time. It's their arena, Bromwich Coliseum. It is rocking for this matchup here in purple and white. Phenomenal start for Jerome Tang, the head coach, in his first season, replacing Bruce Weber in the offseason. Came from Baylor, winning the national championship as an assistant coach behind 2 years ago for the Baylor Bears under Scott Drew. Kansas, so many close victories this season. Toughest road test yet. They're 3-0 on the road. Wins at Missouri, at Texas Tech, and West Virginia, the bottom two teams of the conference. Now they play a team at the upper tier of the conference, tied for second with Texas and Iowa State tonight, as Kansas and Kansas State jump it off, and K-State controls the opening tip. K-State, white uniforms, purple numbers, purple letters for the matchup. Kansas, blue uniforms, white numbers, white letters for the matchup, as we get a quick whistle down low. Already a foul picked up by Kansas, reaching in. Charge to KJ Adams, 16 seconds in. I got Kansas tonight by 4, 78-74. This could very well be a high-scoring game. Inbound goes to Cameron Carter for K-State. He drives, attacks down the lane on Dick. Missed the layup. Dick taps it over to McCullough, who comes out with a defensive rebound. First possession now for Kansas. Grady Dick moves in on top to DeJuan Harris. Harris guarding the outside, slides it over to the left wing to McCullough. He moves over to Wilson, takes the jumper, falling away, missed off the rim, no good, and a rebound pulled down by Naquan Tomlin to K-State. Kansas State second possession, Marquise Noel averaging 8.8 assists per game, number 2 in the nation behind Yuri Collins of St. Louis. That pass gets picked off. DeJuan Harris, one of the top defenders in the nation, pass ahead over to Wilson, and Wilson got rejected at the rim, blocked by Keontae Johnson as the ball sails out of bounds with 19:04 left to go. Great defense on both of the sides of the floor. Harris jumped the route, picked off the pass by Noel, and then Keontae Johnson denying Jalen Wilson at the rim. Hockey fan, welcome back in, brother. Well, the start to this game so far is we're almost through the first minute. Kansas will get the inbound. Bounce pass, they missed the mark. Turnover off the inbound. Marquise Noel pass up the floor, deflected out of bounds. And it was off of a K-State player last, so that's a turnover. Looking to fit it into a tight window, number 23, Bibi Iola, was the one who was intended to pass underneath the hoop but couldn't control the basketball as it went on the bounce. Both of these teams trying to go up the floor quick. Laszlo, thanks so much for joining in, man. Massive game here. 10-game winning streak for Kansas coming in. Nice bounce pass by Harris. Fits it over to Adams. Floats up the runner. Sinks it through. That's good for 2 by KJ Adams to start it off. 18:40 remaining in the first. Kansas State with a possession. Johnson floats it up at the low block. Missed off the mark. McCullough comes out with a defensive rebound through traffic. Gets it away to Harris. McCullough knocked down to the ground as Kansas State picks up a reach and fall right at midcourt. Evan, welcome back in the stream here, bud. Yeah, a really good night of basketball action. A lot of ranked games going on. There's also a pretty good matchup later tonight between Texas and Iowa State. Number 7 versus number 12. Inbound for Kansas, 2-0. KJ Adams, first bucket of the game. Harris moves over to Dick. Dick, top of the key. Dribbles up to the free throw circle, lost it, turnover. Kansas State comes out with a steal. They pass ahead. Cameron Carter right to the rim, missed the layup. Tipped up. Two players there for the offensive rebound. They finally put it up and through. Naquan Tomlin, first bucket off the game off the second chance points for K-State. 2 minutes in action so far. 18 minutes left to go in the first. Jayhawks with a possession. Dick drives baseline, floats up the shot, scores. Right over Naquan Tomlin, gets the runner. Nice job right there going baseline by Grady Dick. Redeems himself for the turnover in the last possession. Cameron Carter on the outside. 15 on the shot clock for K-State. Passes out to his left to Keontae Johnson. Johnson drives down the lane on Adams. And he goes scoop score up and in off the backboard. Gets the layup as Keontae Johnson on the board for K-State. Over 18 points per game he's averaging this season. Over 7 rebounds per game, having a tremendous comeback type season for Keontae Johnson. Power move right to the hole. KJ Adams finding success once again in this game on attack mode. Adams scores in the layup. 3-point shot taken from the outside. That is good by Kansas State as they take the lead. And that is Keontae Johnson up to a quick 5 so far to 7 for the Wildcats. 2 top 3 scorers in the conference battling it out tonight. Keontae Johnson, number 3 in the Big 12 in scoring. Jalen Wilson, top scorer in the Big 12. McCullough, top of the key. Moves it over to Wilson at the wing into the hands to Adams. Under 17 minutes left to go. Over to Dick. Slides it off to Adams. Kick out to the corner. Harris takes the 3. Off the rim, no good. Battle for the rebound. Offensive board. Wilson got stripped. And K-State comes up with the ball. Down the far side. Deflected the pass. It was out of bounds. Last touch by Grady Dick. Intended for Marquise Noel. And it's going to stay K-State ball. Just this one game I'll be covering tonight. Really good basketball action we got so far in this game. I think that's how we're going to have it throughout the course of the night here. Close and competitive. 7-6, 16 and a half left to go. Kansas State low block. Naquan Tomlin working on Harris. As Harris gets called in the reach and fall, clock will stop with 16:20. K-State, 1 personal foul early in the game by Keontae Johnson. 2 team fouls now for Kansas, 1 by Harris, 1 by Adams. Inbound underneath their hoop for Keontae Johnson. Bounce pass to Noel, dribbles back out to the logo. Marquise Noel defended at the top of the key. Moves it out to his right to Ismail Massoud, first time into the game today, number 25. Noel drives right on Adams. That's a tough bucket right there. He flexes too. Gets the layup up and in off the glass with the right hand. Marquise Noel, walking bucket as of late, averaging over 25 points per game to 5 conference games for the point guard for K-State. Dr. G, welcome back in, man. Wilson, he got rejected. Second block of the game by Kansas State. Jalen Wilson getting blocked twice. Number 25, Ismail Massoud comes out with a block. And that's going to take us right to the media timeout. What a start here for K-State. 9-6 to score. 15:44 left to go. This crowd rocking. Biggest game in recent memory in a long time here at Kansas State. Ranked inside the top 15. All right, 30 plus in the stream right now. If you guys are new in the channel, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. Glad to have you guys on board tonight, being a part in the stream. And hit us up in the chat who you guys are rooting for tonight in this game, Kansas or K-State here. Keontae Johnson, 5 points for K-State. What a season he has had. Comeback player of the year for Keontae Johnson. Made a 3 early on. Been pretty good from 3-point range this year. I think he's in the high 30s, just over 39% from 3. Marquise Noel, 2 points, got a strong bucket, attacking to the rim. 1 assist so far for Noel. Kansas top scorers, KJ Adams finding success at this game. Got to the rim for 1 of his buckets. Got the first bucket off a runner in the key. 4 points by KJ Adams, 2 by Grady Dick so far off a baseline runner. Juwan Harris with 2 assists. Jalen Wilson yet to get on the board. Defense for K-State playing him tough right now. Jalen Wilson, first team All-American, looking like this season, but right now held to just 0 for 3 from the floor. He's had some really good second halves, though, for Wilson. He struggled against Oklahoma State first half, had a big second half, reason why they came from behind and won the game. So this is nothing new right here. K-State's had two additional players check in so far. Kansas has gone straight starters through the first 5 minutes. Quick update, other scores out college basketball here as we are getting going early on. Number 9 ranked Tennessee trailing at Mississippi State 7-5. Both of those teams played each other like 2 weeks ago, so another quick game against each other to finish up the SEC schedule. Houston and Tulane. Houston down by 1 right now, 10-9. Tulane with a lead early on, about 4.5 minutes through that game. Creighton taking on Butler. Creighton, record of 10-8 right now. Butler's 11-8, but don't let that 10-8 record fool you with Creighton. They play the toughest schedule in America. Creighton leads 13-9 at Butler. NC State right outside the top 25. That's a crusher if they can't win at Georgia Tech. Right now, Georgia Tech leading 16-6 at home against North Carolina State. So we'll keep on monitoring that game. Florida State decided to wake up today. Yikes for Notre Dame. 15-2 FSU to the first 4.5 minutes in that game right there. And Boston College tied with UNC right now, 8-8. King Marky, Malika, Beast It All. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Glad to have you guys back in. If you guys are new in the channel, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. I cover basketball action, both college basketball games and also NBA streams as well. Strong start for Kansas State. Kansas led the game early on. 9-6 now for K-State with 15:44 remaining in the first. Yeah, no problem, King Marky. DeJuan Harris gets the inbound, passes over to McCullough. Grady Dick on the floor, KJ Adams and Jalen Wilson. So they still have their same 5 starters out on the court currently for Kansas. Harris dribbles up to the elbow, moves on top to Adams, bounce pass, looking to go down low. That's a turnover though, nobody there. Cutting backdoor to the hoop for Kansas. Miscommunication there for the Jayhawks, and that happens to be their 4th turnover in the early going. 1 turnover each by Harris, Dick, Wilson, and Adams just turned it over on the pass that wasn't even remotely close to anybody. K-State with 2 turnovers so far. Marquise Noel swings it out to his right to Naquan Tomlin. Handoff around the wing to Desi Sills. Transfer from Arkansas into Arkansas State that they have. Baseline drive, Noel swings it out to the corner. Catch and fire, 3 on its way. Nothing but net. Keontae Johnson drills down the 3, and K-State doubles Kansas 12-6. 5 minutes through so far. Kansas with a possession. Dick moves it out to the left wing to Wilson. Now over to the right wing, Adams into the hands to Harris. Harris passes off to Dick, floats up the hook shot, and no good off the mark. Rebounded by Noel of K-State. Up the floor now, Desi Sills will take it, drives to the hoop, and left-handed layup. He scores, high arcing right there over Grady Dick for 2. K-State rolling, getting right to the rim. 14.5 left to go. Bill Self takes the first time out of the game for Kansas right now. Kansas State feeding off their energy of this crowd, currently at home, 1.5-point underdogs. Wow, one of the biggest surprises, if not the biggest surprising team in all of college basketball right now. Kansas State inside the top 15. 15-2 record. Got a long way to go, though, but Keontae Johnson, really something special for him right now. 8 points, 3 for 4 shooting, perfect 2 for 2 from 3-point range for Keontae. Kansas needs to cut back on the turnovers. Both of these teams really good passing teams. Kansas top 15 in the nation in assists per game. Kansas State inside the top 8 in assists per game. Reason why: number 1 in white and purple, Marquise Noel, 2nd in the nation in assists per game. Noel with 2 assists in the early going, had the assist on the 3 where he drove to the hoop and kicked it out to the corner to find an open Keontae Johnson, who drilled the 3 off the catch. Desi Sills, great piece off the bench for him. Just got the last bucket with 2 points in 2 minutes. Back to action, Kansas State in a 10-0 run last 3 minutes. Kansas with the basketball. Harris at the K-State logo. Moves it out to the top to McCullough. Jalen Wilson, top scorer in the conference, yet to score so far, 0 for 3 from the floor. Over to Bobby Pettiford, first time into the game. Pass off to Wilson, turns the corner, swings it out to the top to Pettiford. Pettiford passes out to the corner, catch and fire 3. Jalen Wilson missed off the back rim, no good, and K-State comes out with a defensive rebound. Ismail Massoud with a defensive board. Noel takes up the floor. Noel, oh, nice pass with his vision there. We get a whistle and a foul picked up. It's going to be charged to Kansas off the pick and roll. Naquan Tomlin draws the blocking foul. He'll shoot 2 coming up at the line. I'm going to go Iowa State in that game. Really close game. And then I'm going to go Baylor. I believe Texas Tech was favored tonight, but Baylor's going to look to see if they can keep their top 25 ranking. Texas Tech turned it over way too many times when I've covered them. K-State at the free throw line. Both of the shots good by Naquan Tomlin. No, I will not be streaming Giants-Eagles. 12-zip run by K-State last 3.5 minutes. McCullough slides it out to the left into the hands to Pettiford. Pettiford passes over to Harris. Back outside it goes to Pettiford. Pettiford bounce pass down low. It's another turnover. Couldn't squeeze it. Was KJ Adams inside a low post trying to post up. It's a turnover. Attacking to the rim. Marquise Noel missed the layup. Tipped off the glass. Wilson comes out with a defensive board. Kansas looking for something. They got numbers here. 4-on-3. Harris passes off to Adams. Floats it up. He scores. Counted plus the foul. So now the momentum switches a little bit there. That's a big bucket for Kansas to get back within single digits right now. They had numbers off the rebound on the fast break. KJ Adams, second basket of the game. He's got 6. Ethan, welcome back in, man. Really good matchup so far. Kansas State, this team looking legit. One of the top point guards in the nation. One shot coming up at the line for KJ Adams. And it's good. So he's got 7 top scores so far. Kansas has been involved in so many close games this year for the Jayhawks. 8-0 record in games decided by 6 points or fewer. Seems like every time I stream them, they win by a possession. 13 minutes left to go in the first. K-State with a possession on the outside. Handoff around the perimeter. Naquan Tomlin receives it. Crossover. Tomlin going to attack the paint. Bounce pass into the hands of his teammate Ismail Massoud. Got knocked out of bounds, and referees will say it's last touched by the Jayhawks. So this will stay K-State basketball. 12:53 remaining in the first. Quick first half so far. Passing off the inbound. Open as Desi Sills gets the basket plus the foul at the tail end of that as he got contacted by Pettiford. Kansas not aware off the inbound. Bobby Pettiford wasn't in position there to guard the inbound. Nice job to get position by Desi Sills. One pass, received it underneath the hoop, scored, plus the contact. Free throw at the line, it's good. Right down the middle by Desi Sills. This is a tremendous display so far of what we've seen the Kansas State Wildcats do. Under 13 minutes left to go in the first. Top free throw shooting team, by the way, in the Big 12. Slide to the left. Grady Dick takes the 3, missed off the rim. Defensive rebound pulled down by Tomlin. Tomlin past midcourt now. Defended on the outside by Zuby Ejiofor of Kansas. Moves over to Keontae Johnson. Keontae attacks. Down the lane. Missed off the glass. Dick with a defensive board. Kansas goes quick up the floor. McCullough. Back over to Dick. Dick attacks downhill. Over to Wilson. Wilson has position. Couldn't finish. Too tall off the glass. Offensive rebound. Right back to Harris, though. Harris up to the elbow. Oh, nice pass. Fastball to the corner. Wilson takes the 3. Rattles in. That's good. Wow, that's some great vision right there. DeJuan Harris fires in a right-handed fastball over to Jalen Wilson, sitting in the corner. And finally, the top scorer in the Big 12 is on the board with his first bucket in the night. Jalen Wilson just 1 for 6 so far. Under 12 minutes remaining in the first. Naquan Tomlin defended by McCullough. Crossover. Attacks inside the paint. This K-State team really plays fast. Deep range 3. Oh, that's good. Desi Sills. Deep from the top of the key, knocks it down. You got to love players like that. 8 points off the bench by Desi Sills. 6-man when he used to play for Arkansas 2 years ago. And this ball gets stolen away. McCullough turns it over in the post. Turnover's been an issue by Kansas. That's number 6 so far in the first half. Just 2 turnovers by K-State. Teams that make it deep in March, you got to go right to the bench, and they got that factor there with Desi Sills. Keontae Johnson, right to the rim, scores in the layup with the right hand. And a timeout taken once again by Bill Self. 24-12 right now. Kansas only played 2 road games so far against the worst 2 teams in the conference, at West Virginia, at Texas Tech. Taking on a much tougher opponent on the road being K-State. The Big 12, an absolute gauntlet to go through. Challenge every single game, no matter home or away. And their rival, K-State, ain't no pushover this season, that's for sure. The biggest surprise in all college basketball, Kansas State this year. Completely different look on the team with a bunch of new players, new head coach. And nobody could have ever guessed that they'd be 15-2 and ranked inside the top 15 come January. Wow, it's impressive. I usually just do NBA in college. That's what I specialize in. I don't know that much about WNBA. Yeah, I think Iowa State and Texas going to be really close. That could come down to a point in that game. I like Baylor tonight over Texas Tech. Texas Tech has turned it over a bunch this season. Fardaz Amack, he was a big impact for them against Texas, but the problem is that they struggle to play a full 40 minutes against a lot of teams. Joe, welcome back to the stream here, man. Yeah, this K-State team, no pushover. They do a really good job passing the ball. They're top 8 in the nation in assists per game. Bryce, welcome back in. Keep on coming back to the streams here, and just keep on showing up here, Bryce. Keontae Johnson, 10 points so far, 4 for 6 from the floor, perfect 2 for 2 from 3-point range. 8 points from the bench by Desi Sills, perfect 3 for 3. Drilled a long-range 3 a couple possessions ago. Playing 5 minutes so far for Desi Sills. That's what can make a team go deep in the tournament. Bench impact. You got to have a bench. Right there, Desi Sills able to provide a quick 8. That is a big, big help for K-State. Jalen Wilson, tough game for Kansas so far. Just 3 points, 1 for 6 shooting. It's been all KJ Adams. KJ Adams has scored more than half of the team points here. 7 out of 12 through KJ Adams, a perfect 3 for 3. He's turned it over twice, though, so far in this game. Kansas with 6 total turnovers. Yeah, no problem, Brace. Glad to have you on the channel whenever you have a chance there. +40 watching right now. If you guys are new in the channel, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. Wow, that was a long time ago. Yeah, that was wasn't really much sports going on at the time when I covered that, because basketball wasn't back yet. So I was just trying to take different sports to get some type of coverage there when there wasn't really much. Houston now looking good, up over Tulane 26-18. Mississippi State leading Tennessee 13-8. This is a Tennessee at times that looks like they can make a deep run to the tournament. Other times they look like they can be bounced out in the first round. And right now they're playing like they should be bounced out in the first round for Tennessee based on today's game so far. We get back to action. Grady Dick explodes. Right-handed flush quick from the timeouts as he brings a lot of his energy and frustration of this game so far right to the rim there and throws it down with a right-handed slam. 10.5 left to go. K-State with the ball. Bounce pass, low block down inside. Naquan Tomlin finishes right at the rim. Strong bucket. Yeah, I don't know much about golf there. Hey, thanks so much, Laszlo. Really appreciate it, man. 3-point shot taken, and Jalen Wilson start to find a rhythm. Back from the timeout, drills the 3. 6 points by Wilson. 10 minutes left to go in the first. K-State with a possession at the free throw circle. Iola kicks it out to the corner. 3 on its way. It's good. Cameron Carter knocks down the 3 for K-State. This team is just so good at moving the basketball. They are working well into out so far for the Wildcats. Perfect 4 for 4 from three-point range. Conference tournament comes up, I believe it's the first or second week of March, depending on the conference tournaments. Here's a steal by Kansas State right to the rim. They get the layup with Desi Sills. He's got 10 points off the bench. Yeah, so conference tournaments usually like the first week of March or second week of March. It all depends on the conference. It's usually WCC with Gonzaga. That's one of the first conferences besides like the OVC that crowns bids usually. Jalen Wilson gets the putback up and in off the first miss from 3 by Kansas. It's a 2 underneath the rim. 8:50 left to go in the first. Kansas State a machine so far in this game. Noel had a strip-though turnover. Kansas comes up with a steal. Grady Dick gets fouled out in the backcourt. Reach and fall picked up by K-State. Yeah, they're going to need to win a bunch of games for Michigan. They're going to have to get on a run like last year to make the tournament. 71% shooting by K-State so far. They are 12 for 17, holding Kansas to 47%. Kansas trying to do everything possible. Turnovers, though, with 6 of them, or with 7 turnovers, have crushed them so far in this game. Harris attacks inside the paint, and that's going to be turnover number 8 as it goes out of bounds. He tried to pass it out to the corner, and it just sailed wide out of bounds. So that's now their 8th turnover by Kansas here. This is a really, really fast, up-tempo Kansas State team that can kick out the ball and find an open shooter. Marquise Noel, second in the nation in assists per game. Bounce pass to the left corner. Attacking the rim, Keontae Johnson, and it's going to result in a reach and fall picked up by Kansas in the key. So Joseph Yesufu picks up the reach-in. Inbound once again for K-State. 8:20 left to go. 31 on the board. Crossover attacking right to the paint and another foul. And this will bring 2 shots coming up at the free throw line for K-State right now. Bill Self cannot believe it. That's team foul number 6 now for Kansas. In the first half, K-State with just 3. First free throw is good. Cameron Carter makes the first one. Second shot coming up by Carter. Right down the middle. This team is automatic right now. They are making basically like a ton of their shots. 12 for 17 from the floor. Perfect 4 for 4 at the free throw line. Or perfect 5 for 5 at the free throw line. And 4 for 4 from three-point range. Grady Dick passes out to the left wing. Into the hands now of Harris. Harris swings it over to Wilson. Wilson down inside the low post. Puts it up. He scores. Looks like he got away with an elbow. No call by the referee. Keontae Johnson pointing on the floor about the last call. They did not get the whistle, though, for K-State. Under 8 minutes left to go before halftime. K-State by 12. 33 points with under 8 minutes left to go. Cameron Carter at the wing. Crossover, drives right on Adams. Missed the layup. Rebounded by Jalen Wilson. They will look to go quick up the floor here for Kansas. Swings it out to the corner. Catch and fire. 3 on its way. Swoosh. Joseph Yesufu knocks down the open 3 in transition. Nobody back defensively for K-State. And that's where Kansas has been great. Out in transition, K-State passed down low, kicked by Kansas. Lucky for the Wildcats to get back to basketball. We're going to take a media timeout now on the floor. 7:17 left to go in the first. The Wildcats out on the run. Man, they are flying right now. 67% shooting as we take the timeout. Welcome back in. Yeah, this is crazy. This Kansas State team, it's like playing a video game right now. How quick they score up the floor. 5 assists, 12 made baskets, 18 attempted shots, shooting 66.7%, perfect from 3, perfect at the free throw line. Kansas shooting 53% themselves, 43% from 3. Just the 8 turnovers have crushed them. Actually, Kansas has attempted one more shot than K-State. Despite the 8 turnovers, K-State with just 3 right now. But Kansas, 19 attempted shots, K-State with 18, because you would think if you turned it over that many times, the other team would be attempting much more shots by now. But for Kansas, what's kept them in has been second chance points currently. 5 points off the second chance opportunities. They've also got 9 assists by Kansas right now. 5 of those by DeJuan Harris. College basketball scoreboard update. Currently number 1 ranked Houston leading Tulane 33-22. Tennessee struggling once again. They lost at Kentucky and not looking so hot right now against Mississippi State. 16-10 the score. Mississippi State playing desperate, trying to get back to the bubble for them as they've fallen down in conference play. Creighton leading Butler 26-21. Georgia Tech leading NC State right now 27-26. That's an NC State team that is right below the top 25 cutoff. Florida State leading Notre Dame. Looks like Florida State finally showed up this season for a game 34-20 FSU. And Notre Dame has not looked great this year. Notre Dame's been one of the biggest disappointments along with Florida State. North Carolina, another team that's been disappointing. The preseason number 1, not in the top 25. They lead, though, game that they should be able to win, 21-14, UNC up over Boston College. +40 watching right now. If you guys are new in the channel, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe here. I cover basketball action, play-by-play of both college basketball games, also NBA streams as well. Feel free to join in tomorrow here. I plan on covering another college hoops game. It will be number 16 ranked Auburn on the road to LSU. LSU really struggling in SEC play. They've lost 4 straight. A game that they really need on their home floor. And Auburn has had some trouble on the road. Just 2-2 road record for Auburn. They turned it over 20 times their last game at home in a 6-point win against Mississippi State. So that game could actually... It's probably going to be close. LSU ran into a national title contender. Last game they played against Alabama, got destroyed by 40. So we get back to action. 9-point game, 7:15 left to go. K-State's been limited to no field goals made last 2 minutes 20 seconds. Kansas State with a basketball. Keontae Johnson takes the 3 off the crossover. No good. Missed short. Went out of bounds. It'll be Jayhawks ball. Yeah, that's right. Majority of the ACC really disappointing this year. A lot of losses to teams that they shouldn't have lost against. Under 7 minutes left to go before half. Harris passing down low. Dick has position. Missed the shot off the glass. There was contact, though, and he got fouled. Late whistle on the floor. It's going to be charged to Ismail Massoud. I believe here. It wasn't Marquise Noel. Massoud came in as well. I think that's on... that's going to be on Noel. Massoud was the one who got his hands up at the last moment, but they charged the foul to Marquise Noel, so that'll be Noel's first. Grady Dick shooting 2 at the free throw line. First one he makes. What's good, Capitan? Welcome to stream, taking K-State in this one. Yeah, let us know out in the chat who you guys got tonight in this game. Type it in, Kansas or K-State. Free throw number 2 by Dick. That is through as well. So they've been able to come from behind. Currently just a 7-point game right now. 6:35 remaining in the first. K-State with a possession. Top of the key, number 35, Naquan Tomlin. Sends it out to his right around the perimeter to Desi Sills. 10 points today from the bench. Step back three in the corner. Oh, he makes it. That was an unbelievable shot right there. Desi Sills, high arcing, delivers. They will count it as a 2. His foot was on the three-point line. From the corner, drills down the high arcing 2. 6:10 remaining in the first. Harris has it at the top. Moves it out to his right to Wilson. Wilson takes the 3 at the wing. Missed off the back rim, and the rebound hauled in by Keontae Johnson. As we have under 6 minutes left to go. Attacking inside the paint, Marquise Noel. They try to go backdoor. They missed the layup, though, for K-State. Pinwheels around Kansas through traffic. Comes up with a defensive rebound as Yesufu gets tripped up in the backcourt, and the clock stops with 5:49. K-State picks up the foul. Yeah, I think that one's going to be a tough game there. TCU against Kansas. TCU's really got some experience there, so I do think TCU has a chance on Saturday. That's a team I've circled for quite a while for TCU. I think they could be capable of making a run come March for TCU. That team is super physical. One of the best offensive rebounding teams in the nation, and it's tough to defend those guys down low. They got Eddie Lampkin. That guy is just a monster to defend. .45 left to play. 9-point lead for K-State. Kansas gets the inbound as we come back to action. Yesufu at the wing. 5 personal fouls picked up by K-State here in the first half. 6 by Kansas. Over to Wilson. Wilson, deep 2, jumper, swoosh. That's a tough shot. Hand in the face, takes it, and he makes it for the deep 2 by Jalen Wilson. Just like that, he had a slow start, missed his first 3 shots from the floor. Now he's getting going. And he's got himself now 12 points for Kansas. He is the top scorer currently, shooting 5 for 11 from the court. And K-State has just gone cold. Noel missed the 3 off the front rim. 3 on 2 for Kansas. Dick up fake. Waited too long. K-State's defense gets back. Pass out to the corner. 3 taken in the air. Missed off the rim by Yesufu. 5 minutes left to go before halftime. Sills drives, attacks, downhill right to the rim. Offensive foul. Desi Sills leans in with a shoulder. And it's going to go back to Kansas as the clock stops with 4:56. Offensive foul picked up by Sills. Greg on the stream, welcome on board. We got Behind the Arc fan. Welcome back in, brother. Great game so far. Kansas trying to come from behind as they were down by double digits at one point in this game. Under 5 minutes left to go before halftime. Harris swings it over to Yesufu. Turns the corner, passes outside to Dick. Adams moves the ball over to Harris, back over to Dick. Passes out to the corner. Wilson, the one who's taking over as of late, took the 3, missed it though, but an offensive rebound by Adams to keep it alive. Up fake, Yesufu floats up the runner, swoosh. That is good. Wow, that's a tough shot. Joseph Yesufu at the right elbow drills it as he leans into it, floats up the runner. 5-point game. Kansas just so good adjusting throughout the course of the game. Comebacks, nothing new. They did it against Texas Tech. They did it against Oklahoma State, trail by 15 at halftime. They draw a quadruple team into the key. Leads to an open 3 at the wing, and Kansas State has been brilliant from 3-point range, and they take it and make it from the outside by Ismail Massoud. 5 for 6 today from 3-point range for the Wildcats in the first half. 4 minutes remaining before halftime. Grady Dick slides on top to Adams, attacks the post inside the key. And we get a fall on the floor picked up by K-State. That will be number 7 as a team. Cameron Carter picks up the foul. And now Kansas will go into the bonus. We're going to take the media timeout first, though. 3:50 left to go before halftime. 8-point lead for K-State, 38-30 right now. As this game early on was a shootout, K-State has gone cold lately. They just made that big 3, though, to put it from 5-8. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe here right now. We've got a great matchup. Desi Sills, 12 points, top scorer for K-State. Keontae Johnson's got 10. Marquise Noel, just 2 points. He's been limited today, and only 2 assists right now for Noel. Kansas with Jalen Wilson, 12 points, 7 points by KJ Adams. If they get somebody else going, then that's how Kansas gets right back into this game and is making this game even closer or surpasses K-State and takes the lead. So right now it's just Jalen Wilson. They need somebody else offensively to step up in the second half. He's more like a rotational type player for Yesufu. I think he averages around like 4 points a game or so. So he plays off the bench for Yesufu this year. Yeah, Yesufu, Bobby Pettiford. So 2 of the guards that play off the bench. Hasn't been a whole missed shots today. Kansas shooting 50% from the floor. K-State at 61%. And Kansas out-rebounded K-State, though, 14-7 currently. Second chance points helping Kansas in their favor, 7-2 right now. Ashton, welcome back in. Yeah, Grady Dick yet to make a 3 so far today. They're only 30% from 3. Whereas K-State's drilling their threes left and right. 5 for 7 right now for K-State. Man, I'm not picking Tennessee to go past the first round in my bracket. Yikes. 21-13 with 4 minutes left to go before halftime. Mississippi State leads Tennessee 13 points in the first half. Gee. And they're ranked inside the top 10. Kansas State up by 8 currently as we're going to get back to action in just a moment. Kansas in the bonus at the free throw line coming up out of the timeout. Welcome back, Bryce, back into the stream, man. Yeah, that should be an interesting matchup right there. I saw Alabama's only an 8-point favorite. They're on the road, though. Alabama's playing lights out. They're playing the best basketball out of anybody right now, coming off a 40-point win against LSU. My prediction, I took Kansas by 4 tonight, 78-74. First one in the bonus, it is good by KJ Adams. Tomorrow I'm streaming Auburn against LSU. I'm actually predicting LSU for that game. Auburn's only 2-2 on the road. They've struggled with turnovers this season. LSU on the bubble, or not even on the bubble. They're like right behind the bubble, but if they win that game, puts them right back into the bubble. So they are playing desperate, and desperation usually leads to a W. And Auburn has a good chance, or LSU has a good chance to come through tomorrow. I think Auburn might be a little bit too high in the rankings. 3.5 left to go in the first. Marquise Noel passes out to his left. Noel just 2 points so far. He's averaging around 30 through conference play. A wild layup off the side of the glass missed by Desi Sills. As we have 1 in the shot clock, the ball got tapped out of bounds by Kansas. And K-State will get the basketball back with 1 on the shot clock and 3:21 left to go on the game clock. Notre Dame right now is getting destroyed, I believe, against Florida State. I'll check that score. Actually, they're coming back 37-29. They were down 15-2 at one point in the first 4 minutes, but Florida State leading final minute before halftime, 37-29 over Notre Dame. I'm looking at North Carolina right now. They're only up by 5 in the final 30 seconds against Boston College. BC lost to Maine back in non-conference play. Yeah, that's kind of concerning. That's a home game for North Carolina. They're only up by 5 against BC. That's a game that they got to run away with. So they looked at this at the scorers table. Referees will put 2 more seconds back on the shot clock. So 3 seconds remaining in the shot clock. It will stay Kansas State basketball. K-State will get the inbound far side of the floor in their front court. Lob over to the corner. They'll have to launch it. 1 in the shot clock. Didn't realize the shot clock was going off. That is a shot clock violation by Naquan Tomlin as he tried a deep 2 turnaround jumper. Did not realize the shot clock was going off. Turnover by K-State. Ole Miss leading South Carolina 43-31. I think what it looks like right now, as that's a lob, straight to the hoop, +1. KJ Adams gets the lob, puts it through, count it in the bucket. He'll shoot 1 coming up at the free throw line. I think what we're figuring out this week is that Tennessee has lost the wheels. That team is... If they keep it up, they're not going to be in the top 25 for much longer for Tennessee. That was a bad loss against Kentucky. And Georgia against Kentucky tonight. That should be a really good game. Tennessee right now is struggling against Mississippi State. 3:06 left to go. 1 free throw here at the line for Kansas. Missed off the back rim by Adams. Rebound goes to Kansas State. Only a 4-point game before halftime. Kansas State was up at 1 point, 31-17. Desi Sills moves it on top to Tomlin. Tomlin attacks inside the paint, puts it up off the glass, no good. Tipped up by Grady Dick. Great hustle there as he comes out with a defensive rebound. Tapped it to himself a second time. Dick takes the 3 straight away. Missed off the back rim. Still has yet to make a 3 so far tonight. That was a bad possession by Kansas. Only Grady Dick was the only one to touch the basketball. Desi Sills moves it out to the corner. 3 on its way. Missed off the back rim by Naquan Tomlin. So they were sizzling. They were a perfect 5 for 5 to start off from 3-point range. K-State has gone cold as of late. 2:15 before half. Just a 4-point game. DeJuan Harris slides it over to Yesufu. Bounce pass off the roll down. Adams floats it up inside the paint. He scores up and through for 2. KJ Adams finding success. I think that's where they're going to go for the second half. Adams up to 13 right now, so Kansas has 2 players that's broken out offensively. Jalen Wilson with 12. KJ Adams, couple made shots at the free throw line, couple made baskets down low, and that's where they're going to look to see if they can make their adjustments and go inside for the second half, because K-State right now, just no answers inside the low post to defend this team. Kansas +6 in the glass, 16-10. Bench points currently in points in the paint, 16-16. The bench is in favor of K-State, 15-5 because of Desi Sills. What he's done with his 12. Yeah, so they've got that right now. So it was Wilson and now Adams exploding, and that's how this game's going to just be a 2-point game. Make it 3. K-State makes the first one. So now at the free throw line, K-State with 8 personal fouls. Kansas just picked up their 7th, as that was by Yesufu reaching in. Yesufu picks up his 2nd personal foul. Pettiford and Yesufu with 2 each for fouls. Everybody else with 1 or 0. K-State, 2 personal fouls by Keontae Johnson and Cameron Carter. Johnson currently in the bench. Top scorer in the team this season. 2nd free throw and make by K-State. 1:40 left to go before half. Kansas has the possession. DeJuan Harris, edge of the midcourt logo. Calls for the pick to be set by Adams. Adams rolls down, receives the bounce pass right to the rim. He scores again off the pick and roll, up and in off the backboard. KJ Adams, 15 points in the first half. 1:20 remaining, already surpassing his season average of 10.7 points per game. 27-38 for Kansas through the front court so far between Wilson and Adams. Crossover, 3 at the wing, high arcing, missed off the mark by Sills. Offensive rebound, Sills tries to go for the reverse hand layup as he draws the contact and the foul. 2 free throws coming up at the line for Desi Sills. This is a Kansas State team that was red hot from the floor. 12-19 at one point, shooting above 70%. Now ever since, though, they're just 2 for 8. 2 for 8 shooting ever since they started off 12 for 19. Still pretty good percentage at 52% right now from the floor. 2 free throws by Desi Sills. First one is good. This team is automatic at the free throw line. They're perfect currently. 8 for 8 at the charity stripe by K-State today. They've yet to make a shot though in the last 3 minutes. Free throws saving them right now as they up their lead to 4 once again because of that. KJ Adams picks up his second, so Adams on the bench. It's a big loss for Kansas in the final minute and 5. KJ Adams exploding up to 15. He's on the bench for the final minute, though. They don't want to risk it before halftime. Harris takes up the court. Jalen Wilson back into the game. Wilson, top of the key, final minute before halftime. Moves it over to number 21, Zach Clements. First time on the floor tonight for Kansas. Clements passes over to Harris. 50 seconds left to go. 10 on the shot clock. Harris off the pick set by Clements. Swings it out to the corner. McCullough attacks baseline. Clements gets it back. Clements deep 2 jumper. Missed off the back rim. Offensive rebound back to Kansas though. Wilson able to come down with a long rebound. Sends it off to Harris at the wing. 12 on the shot clock. 30 on the game clock. Wilson takes the 3. No good. Missed off the front rim and ripped away off the glass by K-State. Number 4, Tyke Green comes out with a defensive rebound, and Kevin McCullough soared up and picked up the rebound foul. So this will be bonus time once again for a K-State team that's perfect at the free throw line as Tyke Green will shoot in the 1-and-1. 60+ watching right now. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe here. I cover basketball action on the channel, play-by-play about college hoops and NBA games. And feel free to let us know out in the chat who you're rooting for tonight here, Kansas or K-State. 1-and-1 bonus. First one missed. They get the offensive rebound for K-State, though. Shot gets floated up by number 35 at K-State. That was Naquan Tomlin. He missed it, though. Rebound back to Kansas. Attacking inside the paint. Grady Dick will draw the blocking foul. And now Dick will shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's charged to Ismail Massoud on the personal foul for K-State. 2 shots coming up at a charity stripe for Grady Dick. Carson, welcome in, bud. A lot of Kansas fans out on the stream here. 79% free throw shooter. Grady Dick yet to find his 3-point shot today. Missed the first free throw, too. Off the back rim. Dick just 6 points so far. 0 for 2 from 3. Missed the first one. We'll shoot a second one, and that one gets the friendly bounce. 3-point game, 13 seconds remaining before halftime. As the referees have to go to the scores table, the clock didn't start in time, so Kansas State will get back to basketball. They'll try it again, and looks like we're going to have a timeout taken as well by K-State. So they have 13 and a half seconds remaining before halftime here. So we got a timeout taken on the floor by K-State. All right, so now to the timeout slide. What a game between these two teams currently. K-State was on a monster run to start off the game. They were sizzling, shooting the ball from the floor. Started off 12 for 17 shooting, or 12 for 19 shooting at one point in the game. They had a 14-point lead. They were up 31-17. And here comes Kansas right back. Kansas moving the ball extremely well. 13 total assists, plus 5 in the glass for the Jayhawks, 18-13. K-State sizzling from three-point range. They made their first 5 threes. They're 5 for 9 from the perimeter now. They've gone cold lately, though, shooting the basketball. 90% at the free throw line in the first half. Kansas State gets the inbound. 12 seconds left to go before halftime as the referees are going to have to start the possession again. Looks like the play clock did not start in time as the referees have to go back to the scorer's table to check the clock, and they'll do it all over again. So they put back 13.5 seconds left to go. They'll try it again. Here we go. K-State gets the inbound. Marquise Noel. 10 seconds left to go. Crosses midcourt. Defended by Pettiford at the left wing. Moves it out to Johnson. Johnson backs his way on Wilson. Turnaround jumper. He hits it. Mid-range. Turnaround by Keontae Johnson. As this will be a 3-4 court 3 by Kansas. No good. Sails over the top of the backboard. And we close out going to halftime. Kansas State 44. Kansas 39. What a first half here in a Sunflower Showdown rivalry game. Top of the Big 12 Conference, Kansas, sole possession of first place at 5-0. K-State looking to hand Kansas' first conference loss. K-State tied for second along with Iowa State and Texas, who are taking on each other in a couple minutes from now. What a first half here of basketball action. This has turned out to be a really good game, a fun game to watch between these two teams. Kansas State doing a really good job passing, especially early on in the game. Marquise Noel, a couple plays that he facilitated, kicking it out to open threes. He's only got 2 points so far, just 3 assists. Keontae Johnson, 12 points. Big difference maker, reason why K-State's leading. Desi Sills, 14 points in the first half, coming from the bench, 5 for 7 shooting from the floor. He's made a couple tough shots. He was a 6th man when he used to play in Arkansas from 2 years ago. And once again, the 6th man of this team, Desi Sills, 14 points in 15 minutes for K-State today. They're putting on a shooting clinic in this first half. 52% shooting, 56% from 3, 90% at the free throw line in the first half for Kansas State. Kansas struggled with the turnovers early on, 8 turnovers in the first 12 minutes of the first half. They have calmed down. They have had 2 players break out scoring. That's the reason why they came from 14 down to now trailing by 5 at halftime for the Jayhawks. Also shooting the ball well. They're 50% from the floor in the first half. Only 25% from 3, but they've had a lot of success down inside the low post. And combining for 27 of the 39 between KJ Adams and Jalen Wilson. KJ Adams, 15 points, perfect 6 for 6 shooting. Jalen Wilson, 12 points so far. He's 5 of 13. But it took a while for Jalen Wilson to break out. He had a slow start, but he's gotten going as of late. I think it's going to come down to who can be the number 3 guy who can break out in this game. Who is it going to be? And that's going to be the difference maker. DeJuan Harris has had some strong games offensively for him. He has been left wide open. When he's been left wide open, he's been smart and taking those shots and made them. It's basically like target practice for him, but he's been the facilitator so far in the game with 7 total assists. Grady Dick really struggling for him so far. Just 7 points, 2 for 5 shooting in the first half, and 0 for 2 from 3. Thursday, I'm going to cover the Celtics against the Warriors on Thursday nights. So Thursday night stream will be Boston versus Golden State. Yeah, remarkable comeback for Keontae Johnson. Should definitely be comeback player of the year for him. Yeah, Tennessee is called a cold streak right now. They were great, yeah. So they beat Kansas back in November around Thanksgiving. They have right now. They're on a cold streak themselves, 23-23. This is a team that they beat 2 weeks ago by a bunch at home, Mississippi State, and they scored 23 points in the first half. This is a team that couldn't score 60 against Kentucky in their last game, so they're getting cold right now for Tennessee. That team is all defense and just not finding their shot. They're a team I'm putting on my bracket that will probably get eliminated in the first round. Like they haven't had historically, they've never been great when it comes to the tournament. Houston up over Tulane at the half, 40-32. Tennessee tied up with Mississippi State, 23-23. Creighton looking good, leading Butler 36-28. Creighton was receiving votes this week. Good for them. Their 10-8 record doesn't say what they really are. They've played so many tough games. They played the toughest schedule in America for Creighton, and that's a game they should easily have tonight against Butler. They were also missing Ryan Kalkbrenner for he was down for 3 weeks, not playing because he was sick. One of the best players in the team for their 7-foot center, and he's back right now. He's looking much better for Kalkbrenner. that team could be dangerous if all the pieces come together in March for Creighton, because they were picked to win the Big East in the preseason for them. They've just had a lot of bad luck losing their top player, and they've played a really tough schedule. I see Kansas State going deep in the tournament. It all depends on who they play. That's the thing. A lot of the Big 12 teams, I see going deep. Yeah, Villanova is nowhere to be found this year. They're nowhere close to the bracket. I believe they're second to last in the Big East in front of Georgetown. They almost lost against Georgetown. I'm interested to see how Alabama plays against Vanderbilt tonight. Alabama's been playing the best basketball out of anybody right now. The thing is that I don't know how much it's gonna affect them. One of their players, he wasn't really like a key player, Darius Miles, but yeah, not good news coming out a couple of days ago about that. So I'm interested to see if that news will affect the players today, or they'll just move on and they'll have another big win coming up against Vandy. That game will tip off in around a half an hour from now, 8:30 tip-off time, Alabama at Vandy. NC State finally on the right track. They're up over Georgia Tech, game that they need to definitely win in order to keep them going towards, or keep on them trending upwards into the top 25. 42-37 NC State. Creighton leading Butler, started the second half now 36-30. Ole Miss up over South Carolina 49-38. Ole Miss looking for their first conference victory of SEC play. Texas Iowa State just started. We'll keep you guys posted 2-2 as they are just underway in the first minute. UConn probably, like, all depends on the matchups. Probably Sweet 16 for them. They're going cold right now for UConn. I saw Maryland in person back in Mohegan Sun. They look legit. I don't know what happened to Maryland after that. Their wheels have fallen off from Maryland. That's too bad, because they look legit when they played in the middle of November. Michigan State, they're like a sleeper team for them. Michigan State without Malik Hall once again on Monday. They lost against Purdue, and he's been one of the best players this season. He had some big games against Kentucky and Gonzaga, and they've lost a lot of close games. That record, I believe it's 12-6 now for Michigan State. That record's much better than it should be for Michigan State. I could see Sparty going on a run in March. They got two really good guards, Tyson Walker and A.J. Hoggard. You don't see that too often, where a team has two players that can play make and knock down shots. And Tyson Walker is one of the most underrated players in all of college basketball this season. What he did yesterday against Purdue was phenomenal. Purdue is just so much to handle. That's a bad matchup for Michigan State. Number one, they were without Malik Hall yesterday. And number two, they're more of like an undersized type of team. Like, I don't know how you guard that. If you're like another opposing team when it comes to defending 7'5" Zach Edey. Like, man, that's just another level of basketball. Yesterday's game, Zach Edey proving why he should be National Player of the Year. Ohio State's in trouble. Yeah, they're in trouble once again. Last year they got called towards the end of the season. This year, they're struggling as of late. That's a team that doesn't have much in their backcourt for Ohio State. Bryce Sensabaugh has had a really good year. They get a couple key front court players in the team, Justice Sewing and Zed Key. But in terms of like other players that can make an impact, I think it's basically those three, Sensabaugh, Key, and Sewing this season. I think Michigan's been really good at home. I think they're going to have a turning point this season. The turning point is when they beat Purdue on their home floor. I can visualize it. Michigan has been horrendous this year, but they have a turning point, and I think they'll beat Purdue. Hunter Dickinson just can give Edey that matchup. You don't see too many 7-foot centers in the league, and Hunter Dickinson's 7'1". That's why like other teams like Michigan State, Ohio State, where their bigs are like 6'9", 6'8", they'll have a lot of trouble with 7'5" Zach Edey. But that's the matchup right there. Going up against Hunter Dickinson of Michigan, that could pose a problem. Rutgers has 6'11" Cliff Omarui on their team. Rutgers is a top 5 defensive team. That's why they were able to beat Purdue. Also got them into foul trouble. So if they take that out of Rutgers' textbook, how Rutgers was able to get Edey into foul trouble, it just opens up the floor that you can finally attack the rim and score at the bucket instead of Edey keeping on altering everybody's shots at the rim. Oral Roberts, once again, yeah, they still get Max Asmus from a couple years ago. He was like a walking bucket. Totally forgot about him. Yes, I do see Indiana turning around. I think a couple of key players were injured for Indiana, so I do see them turning around. And, yeah, if Michigan fails to make the tournament, I see Juwan Howard definitely in the hot seat. Because last year, they barely made it into the tournament for them. They got put in over Texas A&M. Texas A&M, by the way, that's a team that nobody's talking about that should be on people's radars. That team is hot once again. Texas with a great start so far, 10-6. They lead over Iowa State through the first 4.5 minutes. And Houston delivering right now at Tulane, 48-32, Houston. 50+ watching currently. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe here. I cover basketball action here on the channel, play-by-play, both of college basketball, also NBA streams. If you guys would like to come on by tomorrow, feel free to do so. I plan on covering Auburn against LSU tomorrow night. That will tip off at 7 o'clock. Auburn ranked at number 16 in the nation. LSU right now not in the bracket. They have got bounced out from being on the bubble. Massive game for them. Looking to see if they can work their way back to the bubble for LSU. They've lost 4 straight games. They're the home team tomorrow. Auburn just 2-2 on the road this season. And that should be a really good matchup. LSU got destroyed by 40 against Alabama. But Auburn struggled on the road this year. Number 9 ranked Tennessee tied up at halftime against Mississippi State, 23-23. That's the score at halftime. Low-scoring game there. There's a really good game going on. This game just tipped off a couple minutes ago. Number 7 ranked Texas up over number 12 ranked Iowa State. The score is 10-6 Texas. And then number 1 Houston leading Tulane 48-35. So those are the only games going on in the top 25. Alabama on the road at Vanderbilt. That game will tip off in around 20 minutes. Clemson ranked this week at number 19. They are on the road at Wake Forest. That could be a trap game. Wake Forest beat Duke as well on their home floor. Same as Clemson. That game could certainly be close. Clemson actually came in as a 3-point underdog tonight. Number 21 ranked Baylor comes in as the underdog at Texas Tech. That game will tip off around 9 o'clock. So under 50 minutes from now, it will tip off. And those are the ranked games tonight. Do I see Georgia getting into the tournament? Interesting question. They're playing well right now. I'll probably go NIT, most likely for Georgia. Like one of the top seeds for the NIT. They have a really good record. I'm interested to see if they can keep that up when they play against teams like Alabama, Arkansas, And then other teams kind of sort of towards their area right now, like Missouri being one of the teams, Mississippi State, Kentucky. They play tonight. That should be a really good game. Both of those teams are pretty even. I don't see how in the world Kentucky is an 11-point favorite. That game should be much closer than 11. Yeah, Tulane's really good this year. Tulane's 12-5. Yeah, Providence is at number 22. So you dropped a little bit. They were at number 19 last week. They lost a tough game at Creighton. That's like one of the toughest places to play in all of college hoops. Creighton also playing right now. Creighton is taking on Butler. That's a game Creighton definitely needs to win. And they're doing that 44-36. Yeah, Creighton's one of the toughest environments to play in, especially for like a Big East school like UConn, Providence, St. John's, Seton Hall, Villanova. You have to go all the way from the East Coast out to the middle of the U.S. to face Creighton. Do I see Chattanooga making the tournament? Well, whatever team wins their conference will make the tournament. That will depend. It's really too bad if you're a mid-major that plays extremely well throughout the year, like post a record of like 25-5, and you played an easy schedule all year long, didn't get into the tournament because you have like a 320-something easiest schedule in America, and went all the way to the conference championship game and lost at the buzzer. Yeah, it's too bad. Let's see, Chattanooga, they're only 11-8 this season for Chattanooga. Whoever wins the Southern, which is completely wide open. Samford is 6-0. They got a record of 12-7. That's the top team in the Southern. UNC Greensboro. I would like to see Furman break through. Furman's been really close past couple of years. Last year they were the team that lost at the buzzer to Chattanooga. That conference is wide open. That's one of the first conferences that crowns a tournament champion going into March. So here we go. We start off to the second half. Kansas left to right in the floor to get the basketball first. 13 total assists in the first half for the Jayhawks. Kick out to the corner. McCullough over to Harris. Takes the three. It was halfway down. Spun out, though, as it skipped around the rim and out. Rattled out. Rebound to Kansas State. Kansas State made their first 5 threes from the perimeter. Now 5 for 9 from the outside. Naquan Tomlin moves it out to the top of the key, into the hands to number 5, Cameron Carter. Over to Marquise Noel, drives baseline on Dick. Great defense there by Dick to keep Noel right there. Pass at the rim, and they couldn't finish with a layup. Missed layup by number 23, Bebe Iola. Dick up the floor, takes the three, no good. Skipped around the rim and out. First minute through the second half, nobody yet to score so far. Kansas State second possession. They dump it down low inside the post to Iola. Iola turnaround over Adams. Missed off the glass. Whistle, though, blown. And KJ Adams picks up his third personal foul. So they're going to call him the blocking foul defending Bebe Iola off the turnaround shot. Yeah, St. Mary's got a really good record for them. They've lost some close games, and one of those close losses was against Houston. So I'm shocked that St. Mary's isn't even ranked by now. 2 free throws to the line for K-State. First one, a miss. Yeah, that should be a great game. Providence at Marquette. That's another tough game for Providence there. Marquette scores a lot. They're 2 tough environments to play at. Creighton and Marquette. Both of them the furthest away from Providence in the conference. And then Xavier out on a roll this season. 18:45 remaining, second half. DeJuan Harris floats up the shot. Off the rim, no good. Defensive rebound hauled in by Naquan Tomlin. They went empty that last trip at the free throw line for K-State. Marquise Noel dribbles up to the elbow, hands it off to Tomlin. Just 2 points tonight for Noel. He was averaging around 30 through conference play coming into this game. Shot gets floated up at the baseline, and that is good by Naquan Tomlin for 2. K-State scores the first bucket of the second half. 8 points now, 4 rebounds by Naquan Tomlin. KJ Adams still on the floor with 3 personal fouls. Grady Dick slides it out to his right to Harris. Harris pass off the roll down to Adams. Kick out to the corner. Wilson, touch pass out to the wing. 3 on its way. That's terrible. Kevin McCullough not even close in an open 3-point shot attempt to hit the bottom right part of the backboard. And Kansas just 3 for 15 from the perimeter. McCullough struggling last couple of games recently. Deep range 3 straight away. No good by Noel. Rebound back to Kansas. Under 18 minutes left to go. Wilson. Hand off McCullough. McCullough this time drives, attacks. And he's going to draw the... Oh, he will pick up the offensive foul. That was clear cut right there. Lowered the shoulder right into a K-State defender. And Kevin McCullough back-to-back poor possessions as he lowers the boom. Right shoulder right into number 5. Cameron Carter of K-State. 9th turnover of the game by Kansas. Wildcats with a possession. They turn it over, though, at the corner. It will go right back to the Jayhawks. Thanks so much, all, for voting in that poll. Looks like it was 70-30. So the Jayhawks took the poll tonight. My thing about St. Mary's is that they're just not... teams from the past, they haven't been like that physical of a team, so if they get like a physical opponent, they could struggle with that. But if they get somebody to like their level or so, I think they're very well capable of beating them. Missed 3 at the corner by Harris. They keep on jacking up threes. Here's another one by McCullough. He missed off the back rim. 0 for 2 that trip from downtown for Kansas. 17 minutes left to go. Noel, his pass as he was trying to go down low over to Naquan Tomlin, but stepped on the baseline out of bounds. Yeah, that was a rush pass there up the floor by Marquise Noel. That was in between like a shot and a pass, and they couldn't save it. So 7 turnovers now for Kansas State, 9 turnovers by Kansas, with under 17 minutes left to play. Harris swings it out to the corner, McCullough. McCullough dribbles now to the low block, handoff to Juan Harris. Passes out the top. Dick takes the 3. Oh, he hits it. Grady Dick splashes the 3. It's good at the top of the key. It's a 4-point game, and finally somebody drills a 3-ball for Kansas. 10 points now for Grady Dick. Makes his first 3 of the night. Marquise Noel at the left elbow. Moves it back to the perimeter to Carter. Carter crossover on Dick. Draws a double team. Wilson comes along. Deflected pass. Intercepted by McCullough. McCullough, one man a beat. Missed the open layup, but draws the foul on the putback opportunity. As the blocking foul will be picked up by number 23, Baby Iola. And this will send 2 shots coming up at the free throw line for Kevin McCullough. Should have finished on the first layup attempt. Missed a wide open layup. Kevin McCullough really struggling today in this game. No points. 0 for 2 shooting. Both of the misses coming from 3-point range and missed poorly. Check that. They actually rolled the foul on Keontae Johnson. That's going to be Johnson's 3rd. That looked clear cut like it was on Iola of Kansas State, but the referees rolled it on Keontae Johnson. McCullough just missed the first free throw. So now Keontae Johnson will check out of the game. Coming in will be Ismail Massoud for Kansas State. Desi Sills also comes in place of Cameron Carter. And the second free throw missed. 0 for 2 by McCullough. McCullough yet to hit anything tonight. No points, 2 missed field goals, 2 missed threes, 2 missed free throws now. As we approach the 16-minute mark left to go, going empty that trip. This game could very well come down to free throws. Noel at the wing draws a double team. Bounce pass over to Massoud. Back to Noel into the key. Swings it out on top to Massoud. Takes the 3. He's got it. Nothing but net right there. Straight away by Ismail Massoud. 6 points now by Massoud. 7-point lead for K-State. Harris has it at the elbow. Cross-court pass over to McCullough. Attacks baseline. Swings it over to Dick. Dick up fake. Gets past Noel. Lost it though. Turns it over. Kansas State comes up with a steal. Here goes the Wildcats. Euro step. Right down the lane with a left-handed layup. That's good. Up and in off the backboard by Desi Sills. The change of pace man out on the floor currently. What a game he has had off the bench. Up to 16. He is the top scorer tonight. 6th man. Desi Sills. 15-15 left to go. Passing off to a cutter straight away. Got deflected out of bounds, though, for the Wildcats. Turnover's been a major issue tonight for Kansas. Grady Dick just drove right into a double team and had it stripped. That is number 10 for turnovers tonight for the Jayhawks. We take a media timeout on the floor. 51-42, 15-14 left to play in the second half as K-State ups their scoring total. 7-3 second half advantage for K-State right now as they lead by 9. All right, first time out of the second half, 50+ watching. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. A really good matchup here, Sunflower Showdown rivalry, and what a game for Kansas State here. Playing their hearts out on the floor, making their free throws. 75% at the free throw line. Kansas just 60% at free throws today. Only 4 of 18 from three-point range as well. Kevin McCullough really struggling with him. No points by McCullough, coming up empty in 17 minutes. Yeah, Tennessee right now, the tie game against Mississippi State, 33-33 with 15.5 left to go. Texas looking good. Texas up early on over Iowa State, 20-13. Tulane and Houston, that game's getting closer. Tulane was down by double digits. They're battling back, though, 53-46. Houston, 7-point lead with 12:30 left to go. Ole Miss about to close out South Carolina, 68-54. As Ole Miss will pick up their first SEC victory of the season. Creighton leading by double digits now against Butler, 53-42 Creighton. North Carolina up by 9 against Boston College, 52-43 UNC. NC State ups their score. Wolfpack lead over Georgia Tech, 51-43. And then Florida State's crushing Notre Dame tonight. That's a road game for FSU, 58-37. Florida State with a 21-point lead. Yep. Know too well about that. Hopefully no Silvio de Souza in the building here. Grady Dick up to 10 points now for Kansas. They're looking for a third player to break out. If they do, they have a chance to come from behind here. 15 by KJ Adams, 14 by Jalen Wilson, 10 by Grady Dick. 2 players really delivering tonight for Kansas State. 16 points from the bench by Desi Sills. As we get back to action, Jalen Wilson down inside the key. Off the turnaround, floats it up, and he scores. Big response by Kansas coming back from the timeout. Watch how Kansas goes back from the timeout because they've been playing much better coming back from timeouts in this game, making it closer and closer and closer. Great hustle there by Kevin McCullough. Comes up with a loose ball and stayed on the court of play in the corner. Harris leaves it over for Dick. Trailing 3 in the air. Missed off the back rim. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Adams. Oh no, for a second the referees will switch the call. It will go back to Kansas actually, as they roll it out of bounds by Marquise Noel. Wow. So it will stay Kansas basketball. Initial call was out of bounds by KJ Adams, but the referee reversed it after the call. 16 by Desi Sills, 12 by Keontae Johnson. Kansas gets the inbound. McCullough. Or off to Jalen Wilson. Wilson, low block, floats one up. A lot of contact, no call. McCullough saves, and McCullough really battling for the 50-50 balls. Wilson slices defenders, gets the layup, counted and one. That's an NBA move right there, right to the rim. That is a strong finish with a layup by Jalen Wilson. One shot coming up at the free throw line first-team All-American selection for 2022-23. Jalen Wilson playing like it tonight. When the first one didn't go down, it gets it back the second time off the save by McCullough. And he scored in the layup. Free throw was missed, though. No good at the line for Wilson. He's got 16, the top scorer for Kansas. Sills with 16, top scorer for K-State. Noel on the floor with Sills, Masood, Tyke Green, and also Naquan Tomlin. Noel lost it, gets it back, swings it over to Tomlin, takes the three, missed off the front rim, offensive rebound, Tyke Green. Green down low, draws the blocking foul. It's charged to McCullough, and K-State will shoot two at the free throw line. Tomorrow's going to be Auburn against LSU. I actually don't get Fox Sports 1 on my TV. That's in another package. So unfortunately, I can't cover the Providence game tomorrow. I wish, man. 2 shots coming up at the free throw line by just a 33% free throw shooter. Tyke Green missed the first one. Skipped around the rim and out. Green will have a second one here, and that one's good. So 6-point lead for K-State. Approaching the 14-minute mark left to go. DeJuan Harris on the floor with KJ Adams, Grady Dick, Kevin McCullough, and Jalen Wilson. McCullough hands it off to Harris, turns the corner at the free throw circle. Harris dribbles, low block, passes down low to Wilson inside the post, floats it up, he's got it, the bounce off the rim, drops in for 2 more by Jalen Wilson, he's up to 18. 18-7 tonight, saving Kansas. Wilson with a slow start, missed his first 3 shots of the night, but making a big case here for one of the top players in college basketball. Pick and roll off the roll down, that is BB Ayola who scores in the layup. Marquise Noel gets his 5th assist of the game. Big response for K-State. Kansas with the ball at the wing. Wilson moves it out to the corner. Harris takes the 3. Oh, he hits it. DeJuan Harris, just great when it comes to his shot selection. Just such a smart, high IQ type of player. Open 3 at the corner. He takes it and drills it. 3-point game. That's his first bucket of the night. Harris tonight got 9 assists. Attacking inside the paint. Sills floats it up. Got knocked down and fouled. Inside the low post, it will be 2 coming up at the free throw line. It's going to be charged to DeJuan Harris in the foul. Harris will pick up his 2nd. West Texas Pop Hunter, welcome back to the stream here, man. It's been a really good game tonight. Quick update in the fall. They're going to say it's not in the shot motion, so Kansas State will get the inbound. So K-State will get the inbound here, not in the shooting motion. Underneath their hoop. They move it out to the corner. That's a terrible pass by K-State. Naquan Tomlin tried to fling it inside the key when nobody was looking. Dick missed the layup. Second time, there's contact, and KJ Adams a little bit slow off the putback as he is limping a little bit. It's going to be charged to Iola, though, in the blocking fall, and this will be 2 shots by Kansas. I think Auburn's going to take that, or I'm going with LSU tomorrow. I'm going to go LSU tomorrow in that game. Auburn struggled on the road this year. LSU is playing desperate, and LSU in a 4-game losing streak really, really needs that game for them. I think LSU is going to pull off the upset tomorrow. Yeah, I've covered Auburn a couple times, and they've struggled with turnovers. And LSU is a scrappy defensive type of team. And KJ Adams, 2 shots at the line. The first one is good. First one off the iron, no good, as he missed the first one. Skipped around the rim and out. 54-51 to score. Yeah, definitely. Never count out Kansas. We've seen it from time and time again. Ryan, what's good? Kimberly, welcome back on the stream. 12:46 remaining. Second shot. No good off the front rim. Battle for the rebound. Drew traffic. And 4 players there for Kansas State. 2 of them crashed together. And they finally came away with a rebound, though, for K-State. So it's a 3-point lead for the Wildcats. Marquise Noel past the midcourt logo. Pick set by Iola. Noel double team. Slides it out to the corner. Into the hands to Keontae Johnson. Johnson guarded by Wilson. Dribbles into the key at the low block. Johnson floats one up off the glass. Miss. Tipped up. Grady Dick with a defensive board. 12:15 left to go. Jayhawks can tie it up with a 3. They can put themselves within 1 with a made 2. Harris had an opening for a second. Draws a double team. His pass deflected to get it back. Adams passes on top. Dick takes the 3. Missed off the front rim. And a rebound pulled down defensively by Marquise Noel for K-State. K-State's going to slow down tempo here. This has turned out to be a defensive second half, unlike the first. K-State was up 31-17, 14-point lead at one point early on in the first half. Step back, 3 in the air, straight away. That hits bottom. It's good. Desi Sills lines it up and drills the 3 ball. What an impact he has made. Nasty step back straight away. He averages just 8.5 points per game from the bench tonight. He has dropped down 19 for Sills. 11.5 left to go. KJ Adams lobs it down low. Off to Wilson. Wilson looking for position, got knocked down as we get a foul inside a low post picked up by K-State. Non-shooting foul. That'll be assessed to Tyke Green on the reach. And the clock will stop as we take a timeout. 57-51 right now, 11:24 left to go, and a great game between these two teams. Both of them with 4 personal fouls currently. Massive matchup in the Sunflower Showdown as we head to timeout. Ron, welcome back in here. What a game. Man, Kansas been trailing throughout basically this whole night, but can never count out the Jayhawks. They're right there with K-State, but K-State always making a big-time shot, especially from three-point range, and Desi Sills, credit out to him tonight. 19 points, the game leader. 7 for 9 from the floor, 2 for 3 from three-point range. He used to ball out at Arkansas, 6-man for the Hogs 2 seasons ago. And here's Desi Sills once again, 6-man for K-State. Top scorer tonight. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe here. I cover basketball action on the channel play-by-play, both college hoops and NBA games. Feel free to join in tomorrow. I plan on covering Auburn against LSU for college hoops. Starts off at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and hopefully should be a good matchup. Yeah, things going pretty well, man. 26-5, Kansas State leading the bench points. Big reason why Desi Sills with those 19 points. This game could very well come down to free throws. K-State tonight, 71% at the free throw line. Kansas just 46%, shooting 6 of 13. Kevin McCullough having a rough game. No points by McCullough in 21 minutes, missing 2 shots and missing 2 free throws. Jalen Wilson, 18 points. KJ Adams with 15. It's been those two that's been able to explode. Grady Dick with 10, but just 30% shooting. Couple scores going on throughout college hoops currently. Texas up over Iowa State 29-24 with around 6 minutes left to go in the first half. Houston leading Tulane with 7.5 remaining, 63-52. Houston. Creighton on a big run, now leading Butler 60-44. Creighton gonna improve to 11-8 overall. Butler actually had a better record than them entering the game. Butler was 11-8 themselves. Creighton at 10-8 as they played the toughest schedule in America. Tennessee, close game, leading at Mississippi State, 42-39, still under 12 minutes left to go there. Defensive battle. NC State up in a game that they definitely need to take, taking care of business right now. Under 11 minutes left to play. NC State leading Georgia Tech, 57-47. UNC trying to take care of business against Boston College. North Carolina leading, 56-49. Penn State, Wisconsin also tipped off. Michael, welcome on the stream here. Things going well. Glad to have you back in. Yeah, UConn started to get cold as of late for them. Floor general Dajuan Harris for Kansas. 9 total assists. Made a 3-point shot a couple possessions ago. As we get back to action, Harris, the inbound passer here, sends it out to the corner to McCullough. McCullough empty so far in the game. McCullough floated it up. It got deflected out by K-State. He is lucky. He is lucky that was not called a turnover. The game clock stops. Kansas will get the inbound back underneath their hoop in their front court. This game is at the Brownledge Coliseum at K-State's home floor. Inbound gets turned over in and out of the hands of Zubia Gio a 3-point shot taken out the corner, missed by Keontae Johnson. They are lucky they get the ball back there for Kansas, attacking right to the rim. Harris, as we get a ton of contact, Harris goes down hard, crushing into the stanchion right now. Hard hit by Dajuan Harris as he went head full of steam right into the stanchion on the fast break, going up into his layup attempt. Now, concern here for Dajuan Harris as he is down hard on the floor. Concern for Dajuan Harris as he is down hard. It was a fast break 2-on-1. Harris driving layup. Missed the layup and went right into the stanchion. They got medical trainers out immediately right now. 2-on-1 fast break. Just needs to beat Marquise Noel. Goes in for the layup. Crashes down. Oh, man, that's hard. He fell right down in his head. That's a hard fall. That's a hard fall by Dajuan Harris. He really looks shaken up. Yeah, they're going to take him immediately to be checked out right now. That's no kidding about that anymore. He looks shaken up right now. You cannot play around with like head injuries like that or anything. Especially like what we've learned from the NFL recently, with all the concussions and stuff like that. I'd be shocked if he comes back into the game for Harris. Hard fall, and looked like he landed like on his head. Like his head like snapped when he landed on it. It looked really bad. Hey, thanks so much for the update there, Laszlo. Yeah, 2 shots coming up at the free throw line as Ejiofor made 1 out of 2 at the charity stripe. 5-point game. This is going to have to be a resiliency type of win here for Kansas as they've battled trailing throughout this entire game today. K-State with a possession. Keontae Johnson at the mid-block. Keontae working on McCullough. Sneaks around. No good. Missed the layup. Defensive board goes to Wilson looking to push it. Sends it off to Dick. Dick at the low right block. Had it poke loose out of bounds. Last touch by Sills of K-State. And now Dajuan Harris will head towards the locker room. So he's going to get checked out. Looked like a really scary fall. When he fell, his head appeared to it looked like his head snapped on the fall. Like his head hit the court surface. Looked really, really scary. And it was right in front of the stanchion underneath the hoop. McCullough slides it across the floor off to Wilson. Wilson dribble drive right down the lane inside. He scores with a right-handed layup. Attacking the paint all game long for Kansas. Jalen Wilson up to 20 points and 8 rebounds. Still got 10:20 left to go. K-State with a possession with Noel. Dribbles to the left wing, hands it off to Cameron Carter. Carter towards his right on the outside. Hand off to Naquan Tomlin. Back into the hands to Noel. Noel defended on the outside by Ejiofor. Bounce pass top of the key over to Iola. Back off to Noel. Attacks inside the paint. As we have a whistle here. And the clock will stop. And 10 minutes even as Kansas picks up foul. It's going to be assessed to Kevin McCullough. That's his 4th. So McCullough now, the lone player in deep foul trouble. Picks up the reach in. That is number 4 now by McCullough. As he has got no points, 4 personal fouls. Mario, welcome back in here, man. Glad to have you back on the stream, McCullough. Going to head towards the bench. He has had a really rough game. And Iola for K-State will check out now. Looks like they will go with Ismail Masood, who comes back in. SG, welcome back in the channel, bud. Best of luck to your Niners coming up this weekend. Inbound goes to Masood. Masood's made 2 threes tonight. Handoff back to Noel. 15 on the shot clock. Under 10 minutes left to go. Noel, top of the key, defended by Pettiford. Noel drives, attacks, floats it up high off the glass. No good. Snatched away off the glass by Yesufu for the defensive rebound. Here goes Kansas. Chance to tie it up with a 3. Wilson with 20. Wilson takes the deep jumper. He's got it. Believe they're going to roll the 2. They will roll the 3, though, behind the 3-point line they say he was. 57-57, 9.5 left to go. That looked like it was... It should be a deep 2. But they got right now on the ESPN scoreboard 57-57. So we'll correct once they correct. But, yeah, they've downgraded it to a 2, I thought. So his foot was on the 3-point line. Out to the corner, Yesufu moves it on top. So down by 1. They'll take another 3. Wilson, that time, tried to go in for the exclamation. Missed it off the back rim as he took a long range 3, but couldn't convert. K-State with a possession. Noel over to Sills. Sills, bounce pass to nobody but a blue uniform turnover. Bobby Pettiford comes up with a steal. 3-on-2, pass ahead. Wilson missed the layup, but there was contact as he will get fouled. And Jalen Wilson, 2 shots coming up at the free throw line with 8:40 left to play. Blocking foul will be charged to Cameron Carter of Kansas State. Jalen Wilson tonight taking over this game. Wow. Yeah, he is a tough man. DeJuan Harris right now at the scorers table. So what appeared to be a couple minutes ago, really severe looking injury when I saw it. He fell down hard. Man, what a tough soldier. DeJuan Harris, not even 4 minutes after he got hurt, he is back into the game. How about that? 57-all. Wilson makes the first free throw. This momentum just switched into the hands of the Jayhawks as they take the lead. Wilson perfect at the free throw line. And guess what? DeJuan Harris checks back into the game. 8:33 left to play. K-State trailing now. We'll see how they respond here. Wildcats have it on the outside. Desi Sills at the wing, guarded by Dick. Kansas undefeated this season in games decided by 6 points or less. Grady Dick comes out with a block. He denies Desi Sills with a layup at the rim. Attacking into the paint. Missed the layup off the back rim by Yesufu. Ball gets tapped out of bounds. Referees say it's last touch by K-State. Kansas, 8-0 record this year in games decided by 6 points or fewer. Just another night in the Big 12. So many close games, especially on weeknights for the Jayhawks. Coming down to the final possession. 8:10 left to go. Kansas will get the inbounds. Harris back into the game, the inbound passer. Harris moves it to the perimeter over to Adams. Adams attacks down the lane, and he gets fouled. 2 shots coming up at the free throw line by KJ Adams as they call Bebe Iola on the blocking foul. And that is now number 7 for K-State in the second half for fouls. So Kansas now in the bonus, but this will be 2 shots anyway. What a game. 70 plus watching right now. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. I cover basketball action here on the channel, play-by-play, both college hoops and NBA. Hit us up in the chat who you guys are rooting for, Kansas or K-State. First shot is good at the free throw line for KJ Adams. That's his first point of half number 2. He had 15 in the first half. K-State stone cold. This team started out shooting 12 for 19 from the floor. They were 72% midway through the first half. Now they're currently shooting 45.5% as they have been limited in the second half. Going to get that number up right now. That has been limited to just 33% in the second half, 5 for 15. 8-zip run by Kansas. Second free throw missed around the rim by Adams. As we will have a foul picked up here. It's charged to Yesufu. That's a tough call that favors K-State. Media timeout on the floor right now. 7:48 left to go. Kansas has captured the lead 59-57. So we're down to under 8 minutes left to go. K-State on a scoring drought of almost 4 minutes. What a game. Wow. I knew it when I saw on the schedule. And props to K-State this year for being inside the top 15. One of the most surprising and shocking teams for all of college basketball. When a new head coach, a bunch of new players. Desi Sills comes off the bench and drops down 19. This game has been just fantastic, wire to wire. Kansas at one point, they're just never out of it. They trailed by 14. They were down 31-17 at one point in the first half. And you can never count out Kansas. What recent history shows you, so many come from behind victories. This team, by far, is the best team in the nation when it comes to adjusting throughout the course of a game. Quick update on the scoreboard right now. Houston leading Tulane 74-56. Alabama out on a roll. They're up over Vanderbilt 12-3. Alabama came in only as an 8-point favorite. I was kind of shocked right there. Vanderbilt at the bottom of the SEC. Alabama, they should be more as like a 14 or a 15-point favorite entering that game. They just destroyed LSU by 40. They're playing legit basketball, like top basketball in the nation out of any team right now. Texas in a great one against Iowa State, 34-33 with around 3.5 before halftime. Tennessee holding on to a 4-point lead, 50-46 with 8 minutes left to go against Mississippi State. Creighton turning on the Jets right now at Butler, 71-49. If there's a dark horse team, watch out for Creighton. They got their top player back, Ryan Kalkbrenner. He missed 3 weeks. That team's record is much better than what it looks right now on paper. They're going to be 11-8, but they've played the toughest schedule in the country. Yeah, I was kind of shocked to see this game being played at 7 instead of 9. Usually the Big 12 games on weeknights tip off at 9, and they do the SEC at 7. But they have the Kentucky-Georgia game after this game. I would have thought they started off with the Kentucky-Georgia game and finished this one to be the 9 o'clock game. A lot of the games on weeknights, especially for Kansas, are at 9 o'clock. This is kind of like an outlier here. Vaughn, welcome back in. We got a great game here if you guys are just joining in. Kansas plus 8 on the glass, currently 33-25. Almost 80 plus watching right now. Hit us up in the chat who you're rooting for tonight in this game, Kansas or K-State. Type it in who you guys got. If you're rooting for Kansas, make sure to type in Rock Jock. Jayhawk out in the chat here. We get back to action. 7:48 left to go. Kevin McCullard, a lone player in deep foul trouble with 4 personal fouls. K-State on a scoring drought of almost 4 minutes. Pass down low off to Keontae Johnson, and Kansas picks up a quick foul. It's kind of like a smart foul there by Kansas because Keontae Johnson was wide open for a second to score an easy layup. Grady Dick, the one who picks up the reach-in foul, and that'll be... Or actually, that'll send Johnson to the free throw line. I thought that was the 6th, but that'll be the 7th. So that's number 7 by Kansas as a team. So they'll have make him earn it at the free throw line. Both of the teams now with 7 personal fouls. Dick picks up his first of the game. And both of them good by Johnson. So this is a tie. This is a tie game right now. He makes both of the free throws. 7:45 left to go. Kansas with the basketball past midcourt. Joseph Yesufu on the floor with DeJuan Harris, Grady Dick, Jalen Wilson, KJ Adams. Wilson turns the corner, drives, looking for the foul call. A lot of contact, but no call. As we have 7:30 left to go. K-State comes up with a rebound. Noel on the floor with Johnson. Catching fire 3 straight away. Cameron Carter left open, missed off the mark, tipped up. Offensive rebound, and the bucket is good. Second chance points. As Kansas struggled to box out, Naquan Tomlin gets the putback. 10.7 boards for Tomlin tonight. K-State on top. 7 minutes left to play. Top of the key. KJ Adams hands it off the deck. He's open. Takes the 3. Missed off the front rim. No good, and the rebound goes back to K-State. Grady Dick just 1 for 7 tonight from three-point range. At the elbow, it's Johnson. Backs his way, passing off to a cutter. Open. Oh, what a huge rejection. Grady Dick comes up with a massive block right there, stuffing a backdoor cutter to the hoop. Kansas, corner three, missed off the back rim, quick up the floor. It was off the mark by Yesufu. They're just going too quick up the floor, settling for threes lately for Kansas. They got to find their rhythm and get to the paint. That's what this team's been known for, attacking the paint with Wilson in this game, along with KJ Adams. There's a steal, stripped inside a key. Kansas State turns it over. Kansas comes back up with it. Jayhawks pass midcourt. Harris at the top of the key. Slides it out to his right to Wilson. He will attack the paint, but Wilson got the basketball stripped. Loose ball goes out of bounds, and it will be out of bounds. Last touch by... Or no, there was going to be a reach and fall called here. They're pointing at Marquise Noel. Marquise Noel just reached in. So referees call it as a reach and fall picked up by Marquise Noel. So this will send Jalen Wilson to the line, shooting in the 1-and-1. 6:05 left to go. First shot. That's money. Right down the middle by Wilson. Seems like every single weeknight there's a close game here for Kansas. 12-0 when Jalen Wilson scores 20 points or greater. He is on a roll. He makes both of the free throws as we have 6 minutes remaining. 26 points, 8 rebounds by Jalen Wilson today. 10 for 21 shooting from the floor. This game has had 6 ties, 3 lead changes. Largest lead, Kansas State by 14 points in the first half. They led 31-17. Under 6 minutes left to play. K-State with a basketball, attacking the paint. Keontae Johnson, reverse hand layup, draws contact, and he gets fouled with 2 shots coming up at the free throw line. And if that's on McCullough, that will be his 5th, and it is. McCullough points to himself. That's me? No way. K-State fans wave bye-bye. Kevin McCullough is done for the game with a goose egg on the scoreboard as the referees call him on the 5th personal foul. Ooh, I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know about that right there. Kevin McCullough has just fallen out. There wasn't really much contact. Bill Self cannot believe it as he's got his team in the huddle right now, talking towards the referees about the fall call. Kevin McCullough has just fallen out. No points, 23 minutes, 5 personal fouls. Kevin McCullough is done for the game. Still got a lot of time left to go. 5:47 remaining. K-State will shoot 2 at the free throw line with Keontae Johnson, who is 2 for 2 today. Johnson with 14. North Carolina in a close game against Boston College. They should be dominating that game right now. UNC leads only 68-62. First shot is a make by Johnson. Next time we go to a timeout, we'll update you guys on other scores throughout college hoops, as there's a lot of games coming down to the wire right now as we are nearing the top of the 9 p.m. hour on the East Coast. Second shot good by Johnson. Keontae Johnson, top scorer of the season for K-State. Number 2 on the team currently. He's got 16. 5:35 left to go. Harris at the elbow, swings it out to the wing, Yesufu. Yesufu attacks inside the paint on Johnson. Yesufu, kick out to the corner. Harris takes the 3, no good, skipped around the rim and out. Johnson comes out with a defensive rebound, Noel. Out on the floor, circles around, he swings it off to Johnson. Johnson attacks the paint, downhill, right to the rim, he scores, plus the foul. What a sequence right there. Off the rebound, Marquise Noel circling around, finding Keontae Johnson, and he drives straight line to the rim with a head full of steam. Plus 1 coming up at the free throw line. Johnson with 18 tonight. Perfect 4 for 4 on free throws. Comeback player of the year, Keontae Johnson. Formerly from the Florida Gators. 6 for 12 shooting. Jason, welcome in, man. I took Kansas in a close one, 78-74. Man, K-State came to play. Once again, the Wildcats respond. 9-2 run. 5:10 left to go. Kansas with a possession. Wilson floats it up. He gets fouled. Attacking right after number 35, who picks up the blocking foul. It's charged to Naquan Tomlin. Naquan Tomlin picks up foul number... That's going to be his first tonight, so that is number 1 by Tomlin. KJ Adams with 4 personal fouls. Kevin McCullough is fouled out for Kansas. That's the foul trouble there. For Kansas State, everybody playing with either 3, 2, 1, or 0 right now. First shot is good. It drops in by Jalen Wilson. What a game tonight by Jalen Wilson. Keeping his team in it. He's got himself 27 points, make it 28, makes the second one. 3-point game. 5 minutes left to play. 16 in the second half by Jalen Wilson. Top of the key, Tomlin. Dribbles towards his right, defended at the wing by Dick. Bounce pass. Over to the key, it goes to Johnson. Follow a tough shot, no good. Air ball there. Rebound goes to Kansas. Great defense there by Wilson. Pass underneath the hoop. Grady Dick scores as he gets the bucket in the fast break transition. It's a 1-point game. 4:35 left to go. DeJuan Harris gets his 10th assist today. Great pass ahead there, finding Dick out in transition. Marquise Noel going to slow it down. Noel at the top of the key. Kansas perfect 8-0 and games decided by 6 points or fewer this season. Just another night in the Big 12. Keontae Johnson fall away. Blocked by Jalen Wilson. They get the basketball back. Grady Dick battling for the loose ball with Naquan Tomlin. But the referees blow the whistle and they will call the reach and fall on a loose ball. Charge to Grady Dick. The clock will stop with 4:14 left to play. What a game here between these two teams. K-State will go into the bonus coming up at the free throw line. Here, this will be the double bonus now. That is number 10 charged to Kansas for second half fouls. So this is now the double bonus, 2 free throws for Kansas State. First one's a miss. Naquan Tomlin missed it around the rim and out. He has struggled tonight. He has struggled that shot at the free throw line. He's actually drilled the majority of those shots. This team has been really good tonight on free throws. 68% this season, so he's had a tough time this season. The second one, he drops through though. 2-point K-State lead, 4:10 left to go. Kansas with a possession. Lone undefeated team in the Big 12, looking to stay that way for number 2 in the nation. Wilson backs his way, swings it out to the corner, intercepted by number 1 at K-State. Marquise Noel picks off the pass. Poor decision by Jalen Wilson. Noel's going to slow it down. That's his 3rd steal tonight. 5'7" point guard, putting his team on his back throughout Big 12 conference play. Today it's been the playmaking. Bounce pass over to Johnson. Johnson backs his way into the key. On to Wilson. Johnson double teamed. Johnson flings it out to the wing. Into the hands to Tomlin. 5 in the shot clock. Off to Noel. Noel crossover. Attacks. Kicks it out to the wing. Tomlin. Shot clock violation. Could not get it off in time. It's a turnover by K-State. 3:29 left to go. Basketball will head back to Kansas. Second shot clock violation of the game charged to the Wildcats. If you guys are new in the stream here, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. I cover basketball action here on the channel play-by-play, college hoops, also NBA games. What a game between these two teams, the Sunflower Showdown. What right to the wire as we take a media timeout on the court. 3.5 minutes left to go as we reach the media break. K-State by 2. Kansas has been trailing throughout most of this game. But one of the things that allows them to have national championship identity for a potential chance to repeat, clutch moments, especially when it comes down to the final minute of the game. Kansas has played so many close games this year, especially on the weeknights, and they have just found ways to pull it out. We'll see if that is the case here in this one. 8-0 record by the Jayhawks, and in games decided by 6 points or fewer. K-State getting big production from their bench today. 26-6 on bench points. Desi Sills got 19. Keontae Johnson with 19. Marquise Noel has been held to just 2 points. 6 assists though by Noel. Picked up a critical 3rd steal, intercepting the pass by Jalen Wilson. All depends on who will break out here in the final 3.5 minutes. Jalen Wilson, All-American first-team selection. He's showing it why tonight. 28 points, 8 rebounds by Jalen Wilson. 16 points by KJ Adams, 12 points by Grady Dick. And then DeJuan Harris, 10 total assists. Really good game. Quick scoreboard update right now as we're on the timeout. Tennessee leading Mississippi State 61-55. Iowa State goes into halftime with a 1-point lead over Texas, 36-35. And NC State looking to close out Georgia Tech, 75-61 for NC State. Games that's gone final today. Houston, 20-point victory on the road at Tulane, 80-60. Tulane came in with a 12-5 record, as Houston just no match for anybody in the American right now. Ole Miss winning at South Carolina, 70-58. Great win for Creighton, 73-52 on the road at Butler by 21 for the Blue Jays tonight. North Carolina winning over BC, 74-62. +100 joining in. Appreciate you guys for joining in tonight. If you guys are new in the stream, first timer, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe on the channel. I cover basketball action here on the stream, play-by-play, both college basketball and NBA games. Feel free to join in tomorrow. I'll be back live, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, covering number 16 ranked Auburn on the road at LSU. 3:29 left to go. Kansas has won 7 straight meetings against Kansas State. They won the previous 15-16, and this is the first top 15 matchup between these two teams since the 2012-2013 season. 3:29 left to go. K-State in the double bonus, Kansas in the bonus, as K-State's picked up 9 personal fouls, Kansas with 10 in the second half. If you're just joining in, Jalen Wilson, 28 total points. He is the top scorer tonight. 16 by KJ Adams. DeJuan Harris with 10 total assists. Kansas State tied for the top scorers tonight for their team. Keontae Johnson with 19. Desi Sills from the bench. He's got 19 points. We get back to action. Kansas has the basketball. 3:25 left to go, as they will take it up the floor for the Jayhawks. Joseph Yesufu, Grady Dick, DeJuan Harris, Jalen Wilson, and KJ Adams, the 5 on the floor for Kansas. Top of the key, Dick. Up fake, he is working on number 23, Bebe Iola. Dick dribbles up to the mid-block, and Iola picks up the foul. And that'll be number 10 as a team right now by Kansas State, so this will send Grady Dick to the free throw line to shoot 2. Game clock stops, 3:10 left to go. Dick, a 79% free throw shooter. 2 shots coming up in a double bonus. First one's a make. Second shot by Dick, that goes through. We are even right now. 7 ties, 3 lead changes. Largest lead, K-State by 14 in the first half. 31-17 at that point in the game. 67 all right now. 3 minutes left to go. Desi Sills on the floor with Naquan Tomlin, Keontae Johnson, Marquise Noel, and also Ismail Masood attacking right to the paint and scoring on the layup. That is Naquan Tomlin, who gets the layup for K-State. He's got 13 points along with 8 rebounds. 2:40 remaining. Kansas looking to match it right here. Ball goes into the hands to Harris. Harris guarded at the top of the key by Noel. Pick gets set by Adams. Harris bounce pass off the roll down. KJ Adams soars up with the right hand. He got fouled from behind. And KJ Adams will head to the free throw line and shoot 2 with 2:30 remaining in the game. Now, Naquan Tomlin got away with one there. Looked like he clearly lowered a shoulder into Grady Dick and pushed off. That should have been an offensive foul. That was a no call by the referees in the last possession. Adams, only 60% at the free throw line, missed the first one. And he has had a tough game tonight when it comes down to free throws. Just 4 for 9 right now at the free throw line for KJ Adams. Second shot. That's good. 1-point game. 2:30 left to go. Kansas State gets the possession. Desi Sills dribbles past the midcourt logo defended by Yesufu. 20 in the shot clock, 2:20 left to go in the game clock. Bounce pass, Keontae Johnson, top of the key, guarded by Jalen Wilson. Attacks the paint, had a strip, stolen away. DeJuan Harris comes out with a steal, pass ahead on the fast break, over to Grady Dick, and Dick will draw the blocking foul. 2 free throws coming up at the line by Grady Dick. That was a hard fall. Good to see him back up on his feet, crashing down towards the corner of the stanchion. DeJuan Harris came up with a steal, though. One of the top defenders in the nation, Harris would steal number 2 off the loose ball. 2 free throws coming up by Dick, 79% free throw shooter, with a chance to take the lead if he makes both of them. 5 for 6 tonight at free throws. First one, that's good. He hasn't had a strong shooting night. Just 1 for 7 from 3 by Grady Dick, but he's up to double digits, 15 points because of the made free throws. Second one is good. 7 for 8 at the free throw line, 16 points by Grady Dick. Kansas takes the 1-point lead. 2 minutes left to play. Kansas State with a ball. They dribble past midcourt with Marquise Noel. Every single night on a weeknight, it seems like Kansas plays a close game to the final possession. That's the Big 12 factor. Noel at the left corner perimeter, guarded by Wilson on the outside. Swings it on top, over to Sills. Sills, dribble, drive, attacks inside the paint, floats it up, draws the foul. It's going to be a blocking foul charge to KJ Adams. And that's going to be Adams' 5th. So Adams is done for the game. He picks up number 5. Desi Sills gets Adams on the up fake. Down inside the key. Adams just picked up his 5th. He has fouled out. So 2 key players for Kansas out of this game right now. Kevin McCullough, the first one. And now KJ Adams just picked up number 5. So Adams has just fouled out of the game. 1:43 left to go. Hit us up in the chat who you're rooting for tonight in this one. Let us know, Kansas or K-State. Type it out in the chat who you guys got. If you're new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe here. I cover play-by-play of basketball action, college hoops, also NBA games. Feel free to join me tomorrow. I'll be covering number 16 ranked Auburn taking on LSU, same time, 7 p.m. tip-off. They're going to bring in Zach Clements now to come into the game for Kansas, as Kevin McCullough and now KJ Adams has fallen out. Desi Sills, 2 shots at the line, 77% free throw shooter. First one is good. This is a really, really good Kansas State free throw shooting team. Steven, Ben, welcome to the stream. A lot of Kansas fans pouring in. Thanks so much all for joining in. Second free throw, missed off the back rim. No good by K-State. As it was missed by Sills. Rebounded by Kansas. Kansas will slow it down. Tie game at 70. 1:35 left to go. Harris, top of the key, dribbles up to the elbow, swings it on top to Clements, moves it out to his right to Yesufu. Back outside it goes to Harris, defended at the left wing, 10 on the shot clock, lobs it down low, catches it, Clements, lost it, turnover. Marquise Noel comes out with a steal. They got a 3-on-1. Noel right to the rim. He scores off the steal. The Wildcats lead by 2 with a timeout taken on the floor. Marquise Noel not doing it tonight with a scoring, just 4 points, but he's got 4 steals, impacting the game in a big way for the purple and white with a timeout taken on the floor by Bill Self of Kansas. 1:14 remaining with a timeout taken on the floor. Kansas, we'll see if they can match it coming up here out of the timeouts. No field goals made in the last 3.5 minutes for the Jayhawks currently. They have been built like this throughout the course of the season, though. Record of 8-0, with games decided by 6 points or fewer for the Jayhawks. Looking to see if they can tap into that identity once again tonight in a rivalry game. Sunflower Showdown on the road. Another night in the Big 12 all over again. Night after night after night in the Big 12. Down to the final possession. So many games. We got one right here. Marquise Noel. 6 assists, 4 steals. With a big steal he just got in the layup. I'll be calling the Celtics-Lakers that night. It's on the same time as Kentucky-Kansas. By the way, Kansas is going to beat Kentucky by 30. Kansas is going to make sure to get revenge on Kentucky for last season when Kentucky blew them out. That game most likely will not be competitive. It's at Rupp, but Kansas, of course, doesn't forget what happened last year when they played against Kentucky. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. I cover basketball action here on the channel, play-by-play, college hoops, also NBA games here in the stream. All fans here definitely accepted, and I'm glad to have you guys be a part of the stream. I'm actually a Providence fan, if you guys didn't know. I'm from Massachusetts, big Celtics fan myself. That's my team, but I cover all different types of games here. From New Hampshire, welcome in Ray in the stream. Glad to have you in on the channel here, man. Royals Cub, welcome on board. Miranda, Ben, Kane Dog, welcome to the stream. Welcome all you guys out here on the channel. If you haven't already done so, hit us up in the chat. Who you guys got tonight? Who you're rooting for? As we almost got 200 out here currently. Type in Rock Chalk Jayhawk if you guys are going for Kansas or KU. Rock Chalk. Type in Kansas State here. K-State. If you guys going for K-State tonight. Yeah, Alabama's playing close right now against Vanderbilt. I'm shocked that Bama's not running away with that game yet. I'm a Celtics fan. Props to the Cavs, though. They're having a really good year. They also beat my Celtics twice. 1:14 left to go. So if you guys are just joining in, we have 1:14 remaining. Jalen Wilson, 28 points. 17 points by KJ Adams, but he has fallen out. Kevin McCullough also has fallen out. Kansas State with 20 points by Desi Sills from the bench and 19 by Keontae Johnson. $1:14 remaining as we get back to action. Kansas gets the inbounds. Jalen Wilson with 28 points, 8 rebounds. He takes up the floor. Over to Harris, puts the ball into the hands of Dick. 1 minute left to go. Dick has that at the left elbow, shovels it over to Wilson. Wilson floats up the shot. We get a whistle. Wilson contacted. He's in the double bonus, so this should be 2 coming up at the free throw line. Double bonus time for Jalen Wilson, looking to see if he can crack 30 in this game. First team All-American. He has been playing like it throughout the course of the season. 76% free throw shooter, first one he makes. This game might go into overtime. Would not be shocked if this game goes into overtime. 57.5 seconds left to go. Jalen Wilson, second free throw. And he got it. 30 points tonight by Jalen Wilson, carrying his team. Could be National Player of the Year. Zach Edey yesterday with a monster game. Jalen Wilson right there alongside. Top 2 players this season in college basketball so far. 42 seconds remaining. K-State with a possession. Down inside the low post. Keontae Johnson pivot with the right hand. Off the back rim, no good. Tipped off the glass. Offensive rebound back to Johnson. Pass on top. Open 3, Noel. Skipped around the rim, no good. Battle for the loose ball. It's still on the hardwood. Loose ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by who? Kansas State last touched it. It's going to be Kansas basketball with 23.8 seconds left to go. Unbelievable. The K-State fans cannot believe it. What a hustle right there by Grady Dick, battling for the loose ball. As we see here on the camera, Marquise Noel diving. He cannot control it. Grady Dick trying to track it down. Lucky he did not touch it. Dick did not touch the basketball. It was off of Noel last as it went out of bounds. This should be Kansas basketball coming up. They are looking at this on the monitor currently. It looked like number 1 in white and purple. Marquise Noel was the last player who touched it, though, as Grady Dick was towards the corner, but he whiffed on the touch, and he was a little bit too far away. 23.8 seconds left to go. The shot clock will be turned off. This should be Kansas possession. Referee's just checking right now at the monitor, and they'll probably look at the time as well. What a game indeed. Kansas 8-0 in games decided by 2 possessions or fewer. Could be another storybook game here for Kansas, just like the week before, and just like the week before that. They've played some phenomenal games. Week before against Oklahoma went down to the wire. Week before that, they won at Texas Tech down to the wire. I believe they trailed by double digits against Texas Tech. The week before that, they trailed by 15 at halftime against Oklahoma State. Came back and won. Just another night in the Big 12. Big 12 basketball at its finest. Marquise Noel had a chance to send the game away with a 3. He was wide open at the top of the key, and it skipped around the rim and out. And the ball was on the ground for like another 5 seconds. Nobody could find it. It was loose. And this will be Kansas basketball. So the review comes up, Kansas basketball. I think in this situation, Jalen Wilson. Jalen Wilson tonight, 30 points. Watch for Kansas to attack the paint. 23.8 seconds left to go. Jalen Wilson having a monster game. Just another night in the Big 12. Kansas with 1 timeout remaining. Inbound. Goes to Harris. Kansas tonight, 19 assists as a team. Harris takes it past midcourt. 15 seconds left to play. Harris, top of the key. 10 seconds now. Harris dribbles towards the right wing. His pass deflected and it gets intercepted by Kansas State. 3 seconds. Keontae Johnson missed the layup at the rim. And the 3/4 court shot, no good by Harris. Sails left of the rim. We're going to overtime. DeJuan Harris trying to hand it off to Zuby Ejiofor on the outside. And the handoff was broken up by a K-State defender. Keontae Johnson had a chance to win the game. He missed the layup driving down the rim. We got overtime coming up. What a game between these two teams. Let's get that OT hype in the chat, everybody. OT hype. Make sure to put it in as we got overtime coming up. Oh man, did this game live up to its hype for sure. Don't change the dial, we got overtime coming up. Keontae Johnson had a chance off the steal, 3 seconds left to go, and he missed the left-handed layup. It went too tall off the glass. Could be another storybook ending here for the Kansas Jayhawks, winning so many close games this season. What a game in the Big 12, everybody. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. I cover basketball action here on the channel, play-by-play, college basketball games, NBA games. Feel free to join in tomorrow. I plan on covering Auburn, which is ranked at number 16 in the nation, on the road at LSU. Thursday night, NBA Finals rematch between the Celtics and the Warriors. Alabama up over Vanderbilt 36-25. Clemson struggling at Wake Forest 20-12. Wake Forest with a lead. Baylor up early against Texas Tech 15-14. Started the second half. Iowa State leading Texas 39-37. Penn State leading Wisconsin 36-30. Winners today were Houston, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Florida State won, North Carolina won, NC State won. Those are some of the key winners today in their games. Five minutes for overtime in the Sunflower Showdown. I believe Heat and Mavs. I'm away this weekend, so no games this weekend. I'm covering games in person this weekend. 5 minutes left to go as we're going to start off overtime. Kansas left to right on the floor. Kansas State right to left. Naquan Tomlin and Zuby Ejiofor will tip it off at midcourt. Kansas without two of their players. KJ Adams and Kevin McCullough had fallen out of the game. Marquise Noel, the star point guard for Kansas State, he has got 4 personal fouls. Noel, kick out to the corner. Now it goes to Sills at the wing. Sills attacks the paint, And we will have a blocking foul picked up, charged to Grady Dick of Kansas, as this will send 2 free throws coming up at the line for K-State, with Desi Sills shooting 2. Andrew, thanks so much for joining in on the stream. L, Mystery Ferret, Kevin, welcome on board. 4:46 left to go in overtime. Kansas State 17-23 at the charity stripe. First shot is good by Desi Sills. 6th man of K-State. What a game that he has been having. 21 points tonight by Desi Sills. Second shot at the line. That's good. Yeah, I've always wanted to go to a Fisher Cats game. Thanks so much, Ray. Really appreciate it, man. Yeah, the local AAA team a couple of years ago, I'm like 20 minutes away from the Paw Sox, and they closed their stadium a couple of years ago. 4.5 left to go. Harris swings it over to Zach Clements, now into the hands of Wilson. Wilson had it poke loose, gets it back though. Wilson passes out to the wing to Dick, dribbles up to the top of the key. He's double team, pass off the roll down. Clements down low, puts it up, he scores in the low post, up and in off the backboard. Zach Clements on the board for 2. It's tied up at 74. Keontae Johnson inside the key, and we will have a whistle here on the floor. Looks like the clock stops at 4:11. Did they start the clock in time or what? Because Kansas State was quick up the floor. Yeah, I don't think they started the clock soon, because Keontae Johnson off the inbounds, he started to get going and looked like he was going to score easily off the inbounds. Yeah, they had stopped the clock. Jalen Wilson a little bit hobbled right there in the backside of the play. So Jalen Wilson was a little bit hobbled, and the referee stopped the time so Wilson could get back up because he was not in transition. 4:05 left to go. Bounce pass down low. Kansas State has it. As they are double teamed, they put it up and they draw the foul. 2 free throws coming up at the line for number 35, Naquan Tomlin, with 4 minutes left to play. I'm out this weekend. I got games all throughout this weekend covering in person. So I don't have any streams on Saturday or Sunday this week. 2 shots coming up by Tomlin. First one's good. I do the graphics through a program. It's called OBS that I have it. 4:01 left to go. Second shot is good as well by Tomlin, so he makes them both. Naquan Tomlin tonight, 15 points, 9 rebounds. 4 minutes left to play. Kansas with a possession pass midcourt. Harris moves it on top over to Clements. Passes over to Wilson. Wilson turns the corner. He's got 30 tonight. Drives. High off the glass. Scores. Count it. And one. Jalen Wilson coming up to the free throw line. It's a tie game at 76 plus the foul. National Player of the Year candidate. Right there. He can make a run at it. Make sure that everybody knows about him instead of Zach Edey. Jalen Wilson receives the pass, turns the corner, drives, plus the contact in the fall. Free throw. Bounced around the rim 3 times. It drops in. Got the friendly bounce. 33 on the board for Jalen Wilson. What a game. Johnson moves it back out to the top to Noel. 3:30 left to go in overtime. 12 in the shot clock for K-State. Marquise Noel drives, attacks the paint on Clements. Passes back outside, deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Grady Dick. 3:26 left to go. Just another night in the Big 12. Jalen Wilson, All-American first-team selection for sure. Him and Zach Edey. Right down to the wire for National Player of the Year. We'll always remember this game going up against your in-state rival. Sunflower Showdown. Kansas State this year of significance. Ranked 13th in the nation. Kansas has won 15 straight games decided by single digits. That is the 4th longest streak in Division I college basketball in the last 40 seasons. That is unbelievable. Head coach Bill Self and his team, just so many clutch moments in them. So they have a 1-point lead currently. 3:26 remaining. Kansas just took a timeout. I believe it's going to be a quick 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here. 3:26 on the clock. If you guys are new in the channel, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell as well if you guys would like to be notified for future live streams I cover. I cover basketball action, play-by-play of both college hoops and also the NBA here on the channel. Yeah, they've been struggling from three all game long. 20% from three. Kansas State's been making their threes. K-State was hot from three. They made their first 5 threes in the night, right now at 41% from the perimeter. And Kansas State making the most out of their free throws, too. 78%. They're 21-27 at the free throw line. Kansas just 22-32 at 68.8%. But Kansas hanging on to this game. Couple big areas because of rebounding. +5 on the glass for Kansas tonight, 38-33. Also cutting back on the turnovers after a dreadful first portion of the first half on turnovers. They had 8 turnovers in the first 10 minutes for Kansas. Once they cut back on the turnovers, things started to look much, much brighter for them. I can even dig into the half 2 stats here, see what they were. Half 2 stats. They don't have field goal percentage in there. Kansas held K-State to just 32% shooting in the second half. We get back to action. Runner off the back rim by Desi Sills as we have a foul picked up on the floor by Grady Dick, and that's going to be his 4th. So this will send Desi Sills to the free throw line. Double bonus shooting 2 now for K-State. First shots, that is good as it rolls in by Sills. What a game he has had off the bench. Transfer from Arkansas to Arkansas State. He drops 23 points, currently looking for 24 at the free throw line. Second shot, it's good, right down the middle. Desi Sills 8 for 9 at the free throw line. K-State takes the lead. 3:20 left to go. Kansas gets the inbounds. On the floor with Wilson, Clements, Dick, Harris, and Yesufu. Top of the key, Zach Clements. Dribbles towards his left, defended by Tomlin. Moves it over to Harris. Turns the corner. Kick out to the corner. Catch and fire 3. Grady Dick, no good. And a defensive rebound pulled down by Marquise Noel, K-State. 3 minutes left to play in OT. K-State making 7 out of 17 threes. Kansas now just 5 of 26 from the perimeter. Noel will slow down the tempo. 2:45 left to go. Noel driving, swings it out to the wing. Over to Carter, inside the key now. Carter floats it up off the glass, gets his own rebound back, but he lost it. Grady Dick comes out with a basketball. 2.5 left to go, approaching the mark. Harris with a possession, guarded by Noel. Down by 1 for Kansas with a basketball. Harris drives inside the key, swings it out to the wing. Catch and fire 3 on its way. It rattles in. Bang, bang. Guess who? Jalen Wilson, baby. What a night he has had. 80-78, a career high 36 off the catch. Bang, bang for Jalen Wilson. 2:10 left to go. Out the top of the key, up fake. Tomlin will not take the 3. Moves it out to his right to Sills. Sills turns the corner, drives right down the lane inside. Missed the layup off the glass. Offensive rebound. Tomlin gave it away, stolen away. An absolute gift right there by DeJuan Harris as Tomlin passed it to the wrong player. And Harris just intercepts the pass as easy as it could get. Minute 45 left to go. Kansas looking for another big bucket. Guess who takes the 3? Jalen Wilson. No good. Missed off the back rim that time. A little bit too long. Rebound pulled down by K-State. Approaching 1.5 left to go. Attacking. Downhill. Keontae Johnson. Right to the rim. Draws the blocking foul. Keontae Johnson will shoot 2. That's on Grady Dick. That's going to be number 5. So he is done. And the K-State fans waving towards Dick right now as he has just fallen out of the game. This is resiliency though. Kansas, 3 players now with 5 personal fouls not playing, out of the game. KJ Adams, Kevin McCullough, and now Grady Dick. So this will send Bobby Pettiford now into the game for Kansas. So he's played 5 minutes tonight. 1:31 left to go. Kansas State at the free throw line coming up. Will shoot 2 with Keontae Johnson. Johnson, 19 points. Perfect, 5 for 5 at the free throw line. Quick update on foul trouble for Kansas State. Nobody has fouled out just yet for K-State, but 4 personal fouls by Marquise Noel and Naquan Tomlin. And that's a key one right there with Noel. He's the point guard, top playmaker for the team. 1:31 left to go. Jalen Wilson, monstrous game, career high 36, 12 for 24 shooting. First shot is good by Keontae Johnson. Chris, welcome back in, man. What a game here. Hit us up in the chat who you guys are rooting for tonight, Kansas or K-State. Second free throw by Johnson. Got them both. 80. 1:31 left to go. And a timeout taken on the floor by K-State, as they are down to 2 timeouts remaining. Kansas with 2 as well. Just another night in the Big 12. Oh my goodness. Glad to see this game came out to its hype tonight. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. I cover basketball action here on the channel, play-by-play, both college hoops and NBA games, and unbelievable game. Just another night in the Big 12. Felix, welcome back in here, man. Melinda, welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for joining in, taking K-State here. Kevin, welcome on board, going for the Wildcats. Got some K-State fans joining in. James, welcome in. Type in Rock Chalk Jayhawk if you guys are going Kansas, KU. If you guys going Kansas tonight, type in KSU if you're going for K-State, or K-State out in the chat. Welcome in, as we have over 250 plus watching. Really appreciate you guys for joining in. You guys are the real legends out on the channel. 1:31 left to go in overtime. Inbound for Kansas. Jalen Wilson, a career high 36 points. National Player of the Year candidate. Right there with Zach Edey. Him and Wilson, 1 and 2. Wilson attacks inside the paint. He draws the foul, and Wilson will shoot 2 more coming up at the line. And he attacked down the lane on Naquan Tomlin, and that's on Tomlin. That's going to be his 5th, and that is. Naquan Tomlin has just fouled out. Tomlin is the top rebounder for K-State. 10 rebounds tonight. 15 points, 10 rebounds for Tomlin, and Tomlin has just fouled out of the game. Gale, Sports Kid, the Frog, welcome on the channel here, everybody. Jalen Wilson, 2 free throws coming up at the line. 1:18 remaining on the clock. Jalen Wilson looking to up his career high, as Naquan Tomlin of K-State has just fouled out. He has picked up his 5th. Quick foul trouble update. Marquise Noel with 4 personal fouls. He's the only other player in deep foul trouble. Everybody else in the game playing with either 3, 2, 1, or 0. $1:18 left to play. Jalen Wilson will shoot 2 coming up at the free throw line. If you guys are new in the channel, do not spam the chat in here. Only, I actually haven't done this in a while, since the playoffs for NBA. So here we go. Let's get some slow mode hype out there in the chat for you guys. That will help out. Both of the free throws are good by Jalen Wilson. 38 points as he keeps on adding to his career high. 11 for 12 at the free throw line. 1:10 left to go. Marquise Noel out on the floor, playing with 4 personal fouls for the point guard. His pass deflected, and it's going to be whistled on Jalen Wilson reaching in. So Wilson picks up a foul, and that'll be his 3rd. So 3 fouls for Wilson tonight. Or that is now 2. Update there. I was looking at the turnover line. That is only 2. So Wilson's only got 2 fouls. So he just picked up a reaching down the far side. Keontae Johnson at the free throw line. First one he missed. Off the front rim. K-State's done a stellar job tonight at the free throw line in this game. 79%, 26-33. Kansas just 24-34, 70.6%. Second free throw is good. 1 point game. Okilla, welcome to the stream. Connor, thanks so much for joining in. Thanks so much, Melinda, for finding my channel. Really appreciate it here. 1 minute left to go. What a game. Kansas with the basketball. DeJuan Harris swings it out to the wing over to Yesufu. 15 on the shot clock, finds Wilson. Wilson backs his way, mid-block. Passes out to the wing, Yesufu. 10 on the shot clock as he's guarded by Noel. Yesufu moves it over to Wilson. Deep range three. Not going to count it, though. There was a whistle before. And a timeout taken by Bill Self. Jalen Wilson made a three-point shot from 28 feet out, but they did not count it as Bill Self had taken a timeout beforehand. Wow. Wow, that was nothing but net. Jalen Wilson had drilled a three, but a timeout taken by Bill Self right before. It'll stay Kansas basketball, 41 seconds left to go. 82-81. Kansas by 1. 1 timeout remaining for Kansas, 2 by Kansas State. This is just unbelievable, this game. Feel free to join in tomorrow if you guys would like. I plan on covering number 16 ranked Auburn on the road at LSU. Thursday night, I plan on covering the Celtics taking on Golden State. If you guys didn't know, I'm actually a Providence fan, if you guys didn't know, for college basketball. Props to Kansas last year. National championship, beat Providence in the Sweet 16. I was shocked that my Friars made it all that way, honestly. But I'm from Southeast Mass, not too far away from Providence. Celtics fan is my NBA team. I'm a Celtics fan, but I cover all different types of teams here. Play-by-play about college hoops, different teams. Mostly lately it's been Big 12 because Big 12 has had the best games lately. And also NBA games too. 40.8 seconds left to go. They're actually going to put a little bit more time on the clock. So they put now 42.2. So they put a little bit more time on the clock. Quick update on the foul trouble. 3 players have fouled out for Kansas. This is just resiliency right here by Kansas. They had KJ Adams fall out with like 6 minutes left. Also has fouled out is Kevin McCullough and now Grady Dick. So 3 players for Kansas have fouled out, and then Naquan Tomlin has fouled out as well. 4 personal fouls picked up by Marquise Noel of K-State. We get back to action. 3-point shot attempted by Wilson. Missed off the back rim, no good. K-State comes out with a defensive rebound. 8-second differential between shot clock and game clock. And Kansas State will burn a timeout here with 30 seconds left to play and 22 seconds remaining on the shot clock. I called that game, actually. So, yeah, I streamed the game last year between Providence and Kansas. 30.3 seconds left to go. I actually streamed that game from my living room because a lot of the streams I cover from my bedroom, like 99% of my streams. But when I cover Providence games in the tournament or also Celtics games in the playoffs, I usually stream in my living room because my family usually wants to watch the game with me and spend time in the living room when I stream. So I usually have covered Celtics games in the playoffs in the past and also Providence March Madness games in my living room. So a little bit of a different setting. 30.3 seconds left to play. There's an 8-second differential between shot clock and game clock. We're going to keep it here on this slide because it's a timeout on the floor, but we'll keep it here. Quick timeout taken on the floor by K-State. Carla, welcome in. Thanks so much for joining in. Yeah, massive game tomorrow taking on Marquette. That's going to be a tough one. Marquette, Creighton, Xavier, those are 3 tough environments to go out and play in the Big East. So K-State will have the basketball. 30 seconds left to go. Georgia, by the way, came in as an 11-point underdog on the road at Rupp. Georgia leads 22-16 on the road at Kentucky. 30 seconds left to go here. Kansas State gets the inbound. Inbound goes to the point guard, Marquise Noel. 8-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Lob over the top. Keontae Johnson throws it down with a two-handed alley-oop jam. K-State takes the lead. Shot clock turned off. Game clock down to 20 seconds. Kansas has a timeout. Unbelievable alley-oop jam. Backdoor with an assist by Marquise Noel to Keontae Johnson. And Bill Self will talk things over with 11.7 seconds left to play. Oh my goodness, I gotta see a highlight of that right here in a replay. They will do exactly that. Marquise Noel off the inbound. Keontae Johnson slips backdoor right past Jalen Wilson, a one-on-one, slips right backdoor to the rim, soars up and throws down the two-handed alley-oop jam on the last K-State possession. Comeback player of the year, Keontae Johnson. This is the game of the year right now. 24 points by Keontae of K-State with 8 rebounds. Desi Sills off the bench with 24 for K-State. Jalen Wilson career high 38. 17 by KJ Adams, 16 by Grady Dick, but both of those guys have fallen out. Yeah, I think that's a tough game tomorrow, honestly. Marquette's they're a really good scoring machine for them. 83-82, Kansas, perfect 8-0 record by 6 points or fewer this season. Going to come down to the final possession, and watch out for Jalen Wilson on this last shot. Kansas out of timeouts, K-State with 1 remaining. What an unbelievable game in the Sunflower Showdown. Wow. Incredible season for K-State. First-year head coach taking them to whole new heights right now for K-State. Jerome Tang done an unbelievable job this season. 11.7 seconds left to go in the Sunflower Showdown. 7 victories in a row for Kansas. 15 out of the last 16 against K-State. Can they pull it together and find another miracle? We'll see in the final 11 seconds. No timeouts remaining for Kansas. Here we go. Inbound. Over to Harris. Pick set by Clements. Harris dribbles, drives, attacks at the baseline. Lost control of the basketball. 1 second. And Kansas State forces the steal. It is over. K-State picks up the victory as the crowd goes wild. They storm the court here in Manhattan as this game has gone final. And the number 13 ranked team in the nation, the K-State Wildcats, have pulled off the 1-point victory. Unbelievable game. The game of the year potentially in the regular season. Harris has lost the dribble at the corner. Kansas State put him on a double team at the baseline as he lost it. Got trapped. Kansas State forced the turnover and it went final. 83-82 the final score. K-State picks up the victory. And there are no more unbeaten teams in Big 12 conference play. Just another night in the Big 12. Unbelievable game between these two teams tonight. Harris lost the handle as that was a tough play there at the baseline, far baseline. They brought 2 defenders alongside. He got it stripped. Keontae Johnson, the player of the game for K-State, alley-oop game-winning jam with 11 seconds left to go, slipping backdoor with an assist by Marquise Noel. Noel by far did not have his best scoring game tonight. He had just 4 points, but he made 7 assists. Keontae Johnson, comeback player of the year, 24 points by Keontae. What a story there. So incredible that he's able to play basketball once again and balling as a top 3 scorer in the Big 12 conference, the toughest conference in all college hoops. Jalen Wilson, better think about him as being National Player of the Year. Right there alongside Zach Edey. 38 points of career high tonight by Jalen Wilson. Down to the wire. K-State home victory by 1. Unbelievable game between these two teams. Feel free to join in tomorrow. I plan on covering number 16 ranked Auburn on the road at LSU. If you guys would like to come on back, feel free to do so. Before you sign off tonight, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe here, and ring the notification bell if you guys would like to be notified for future live streams. And man, just an amazing game between these two teams. Props to these two teams because I see both of them going super far in the NCAA tournament. Kansas State's been the most shocking team this year. What they've done, they lost their top scorer last season, Nigel Pack, to Miami. And Marquise Noel comes in, and he provides these monster games for Noel. And Keontae Johnson comes in, and Keontae Johnson, he makes a massive, massive comeback to his Florida days, but even better. And a big, big victory for K-State here at home by 1. That was wild. What a game between these two teams. We're going to close out to the channel members tonight. All channel members get a shout out at the end of each and every single one of my live streams here. As we have Jason, Rajeep, Russell, Oreo Pudding, Bradley, Braden, Mario, Bino, Mark, John, Kenneth, Jess, Ahino, Joseph, Vegas, SG Sports Talk, Warren, Michael, I Am Ghost, Kelly, Asia, Laszlo, Roderick, Reynaldo, Didi, Katie, Siegel, Woo Pig, Ian, Oink Oink, Emmanuel. And that's a wrap here, folks. Thanks so much all for joining in. What a game. Final score, Kansas State 83, Kansas 82 in overtime. Pulling off the victory for the number 13 ranked team in the nation. Thanks so much all for joining in, everybody. And enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night.